Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? I am your guy, Rez. Happy Wednesdays, guys. We are back for another episode. This is episode 98. We are rapidly approaching the end. I know it seems like I say that a lot every week, but I really, really mean it, guys. We're getting real close here because there's going to be 100 episodes. Episode 100 will be the finale, and that's basically going to be it for the lives, man. So soak up as much as you can of this because it is definitely a marathon, guys, and this has been a wonderful journey so far with everybody. But we're here, man. We're here to make some history tonight on the lives every Wednesdays, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do different topics every week. This week just so happens to be a pro wrestling and NFL playoffs or just sports in general, guys. But I do want to highlight the NFL specifically because we are pretty much at postseason, man. We're here. You know, Wildcard's coming up. And then, of course, you know, you have the playoffs, you have the championship game, and then you have the Super Bowl, man. So it's going to be one crazy ride, but I do want to hear your guys' opinions on who do you think is going to face who, the wild cards. What's your take on those dubs? Who's going to get those dubs? And, of course, the Super Bowl, guys. And also for pro wrestling, WrestleMania is also coming up real soon, guys. It's going to come quicker than we know it. And God, man, it just feels like WrestleMania just happened like not so long ago. So that being said, guys, I'm going to let my guest hop on. I have somebody in the queue that's waiting that I will let hop on. And he's also a fellow wrestling fan who also joined me on my other wrestling live that I did a while ago. I forgot what episode it was off the top of my head, but we did talk a lot about pro wrestling. And we do have another guest coming hopefully later this evening. So without further ado, please welcome to the stage, Uncle Lou. What's up? What up?
What's up? It's about, I think it was about 10 lives ago.
What up, man?
Not much, man. About 10. I think it was 10 lives ago that we did the wrestling thing.
10 lives? Damn. I don't even know. And these are my lives.
Yeah. So,
that's crazy.
You know, something I never thought I ever see again was that design on a shirt. I was used to this one. Have like this design 5 times.
Tell the people who don't know what that shirt is.
The return. A WWE CM Punk t-shirt.
Nice.
I want to get the other one, that the Hell Froze Over t-shirt, but that's still on back order. That's actually on back order.
That's crazy. It's sold out, huh?
It says a special event shirt and you can order it, but it won't start shipping out to the end of the month. So it's almost like a pre-order kind of thing now.
We all know WWE ain't gonna sell out of stuff. You know they're gonna keep pumping out that merch.
Oh no. This is basically, I finally saw they say in stock, and I was like, buy. Plus, they actually just went up. WWE shirts just went up in price again.
Yeah, man, dude, it's crazy. Like how much wrestling t-shirts are now going for, and how much, like, all due respect, man, but the quality on today's wrestling merch is nowhere near to what it was like early 2000s. And, you know.
Doesn't help the Fanatics took over. It's not.
No, man. It's crazy because it's like we get similar conversations like that about like Mitchell and Ness. Like, oh, back when Mitchell and Ness was making stuff in like Korea, USA, El Salvador. Now all their stuff is China. Like so many people. Like it's the same thing. Like with wrestling, like apparel. Wrestling apparel was so much different before.
Yeah, we're starting to sound like old man yelling at clouds.
Exactly. Exactly.
Get into that point, man. But yeah.
By the way, rocking this, of course, guys. I was gonna rock a Cena stuff, but you know, I don't want to be too predictable here. So you know, obviously, I gotta go with some Tribal Chief and the Bloodline gear. But yeah, man, this topic. Like I said, I want to hop into wrestling, but I want to let our other co-host, I guess you could say, hop on and give him some time. I know he said he's going to be here a little bit later in the afternoon. Sorry, afternoon, evening. Shit, where am I coming from? Later in the evening. So I do want to get your predictions, and of course, anybody else that's in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in this evening. But I do want to get your thoughts on the whole NFL situation right now with the teams that are in the playoffs, the wild card situation, and also like possible Super Bowl predictions. Like,
well,
crazy.
considering my team's coaching staff is a fucking shit show right now. Yeah, talk about Family Feud. Holy crap. So, but aside from that, anybody but Philly at this point. I'm a hater. Call me a hater. I don't give a shit. I've been hating for years. But honestly, I think I see maybe like, I don't know. I have this Niners Baltimore rematch in my head.
Okay.
You know, I'm still salty about that one. At the time, a girlfriend of mine at the time, she was a Niners fan, so obviously I wasn't on team team 49er that night. And not only that, my brother-in-law is a Niners fan as well. So I have best friends that are Niners fans, so it's I think I have a little bit of a stake. I wouldn't mind Dallas though. I mean, finally my dad hasn't seen Dallas do shit in about 20-some years, so
will this be the time that the Cowboys break the curse?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my brother was not even a year old last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. He's 28, so yeah. Let's see if they do it again before he turns 30.
So it looks like we have some matches that are locked in. I'm looking at it here on this scheduling, but it looks like the wild card rounds. We got the Browns versus the Texans.
That's gonna be a low key tough matchup. I'm telling you right now. That's gonna be a low key matchup that people are gonna be like, shit, did you see that fucking game? That's gonna be one of those. I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those. And a lot of people are expecting Philly to go be one and done, I guess, against Tampa, because they haven't looked good in a few weeks. I mean, they lost like what, 4 of the last 5. The only win was on Christmas, and
they lost.
That was a couple calls away from going the other way. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're reeling, but I still wouldn't count them out. I don't trust Tampa Bay at all. So I see them maybe making it to a divisional round, and
So let's go through these matchups so far, because we have 6 games. So that's 12 teams that are in it right now on the wild card. We have the Browns versus
Super
Texans.
wild card.
Dolphins versus Chiefs, Steelers versus Bills, the Packers versus the Cowboys, Rams versus Lions, and Eagles versus Buccaneers. I'm just going to kind of go through real quick my takes on these 6 games and who I think is going to pull the victory. The Browns-Texans, I think the Browns are going to take it. I mean, they beat us, man. They beat the 49ers. Their defensive line is nothing to scoff at, man. This team definitely, I think that I don't think they're going to win it all, but I think they're going to make it past this wild card round and all.
I don't know. I think Houston, man, CJ Stroud. I don't know, man. There's something.
I mean,
that kid.
Yeah,
that kid. You never know.
I mean, he was injured though. Like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what will happen.
Like I said, this is gonna be the low key that
it can go either way. I'm not counting out Houston, the Texans. I'm not counting them out. But the Browns, like I said, I've seen them play. I watched the game when they played us, and I was like, what is this? The game between the Dolphins and the Chiefs, this is a good one. I'm actually really excited for that one. I don't know, man.
I scored on a fucking NBA game.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Ultimately, I think it's going to go both ways, but I don't think this is the Chiefs' year, man. I think they're gonna, something's gonna happen. Obviously, we know that whole offsides ordeal when they played Buffalo.
Tony.
It's just one of those things, man, where it's like you got to bring your A game all the time. And I don't know. I think the Dolphins have a young squad, a lot of young guys on there. Tua, I'm very optimistic with Tua for some reason. I just think that he's one of those explosive quarterbacks, but we'll see, man.
I see like 40. I think it'll be like 42-35, and I can't even predict what team's gonna be the one scoring 42.
And that's, dude, like Tyreek Hill too. That guy's a monster, man. Like this guy's just, he's amazing, you know. But that's just my prediction. I think the Dolphins are going to pull the dub in that game. The Steelers versus the Bills. Again, like I said, you know, like when I look at quarterbacks, it's always all eyes on the quarterback, obviously, because they get the most heat. Without a quarterback, you're not going to win a game. I think in this case, Josh Allen, I think it's like one of those teams, man. I feel like the Bills, they're one of those teams that like get so close to winning it all or making it to the Super Bowl, but they fall short. But I don't know, man. Like
they're like the early
this
2000s
game.
Eagles. There's like you expect them to do something, and every time you expect them to do something, they always fall on their face. It was like the Andy Reid era Eagles. You know what I mean? They were that team. Like, all right, this finally could be the year. All right. Oh, nope. Never mind.
He's going to win snowstorm game. Dolphins and snow don't mix.
Still, it ain't going to matter.
I don't know, man. Like I said, like that's going to be an interesting game. I think it can go either way. But Slim, what up? What up? Matthew DeLuca, he says Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Birds, Rams, and the boys are going to advance, okay, in the wild card.
I think I like all those picks except one. Figure out which one.
They got two. They got wings.
Yeah,
yeah. For the Steelers, Bills, I'm gonna go with the Bills.
Same here.
For the Packers and Cowboys, I going with the Packers. Obviously, them boys. Like I feel like the Cowboys are like the team to be like the biggest meme team. Like there's just so many memes with the Cowboys. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Dak and the rest of the Cowboys are playing phenomenal football. Great regular season record, but I don't know, man. I mean, we've kind of seen the deal with you know the Cowboys and how they just kind of fold like cheap tents, like Steve.
They would like a belt.
Yeah,
like a belt.
So, but I think they'll get past this round against Green Bay. The Rams and the Lions. This is. I honestly, I'm rooting for the Lions to win this, and
the Matthew Stafford hate game, I guess.
The Matthew Stafford hate game, yeah.
All those Lions fans are like, Matthew Stafford finally got a Super Bowl, and they're like, fuck him. I literally see that all over social media, man. All those people, all those Lions fans that rooted for the Rams in the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
Bro,
now going fuck the Rams.
you know, of all people, like I feel some type of way because of what happened with us when we got smacked by the Rams, and of course,
wasn't that Garoppolo's last game as a Niner?
I think was it?
I think so.
I can't remember, but I mean, Aaron Donald and that team, man, they just amazing. That I mean, hats off to that team and that roster at that.
I rooted for the Rams at Super Bowl because of OBJ, but at the same time, I was really hating on the Aaron Donald could be the best defensive player ever. Lawrence Taylor.
I don't know about ever, but he's
Lawrence Taylor still exists, guys. Remember that guy? Yeah. No. Still Belichick.
So I'm gonna go with the Lions because I don't know if they're the underdogs in that matchup, but
you can't root for your division rival. I mean, like I said, the only reason I even want Dallas is because of my dad. Even then, I would have been like,
I mean, it don't matter either way because the 49ers clinched our division, so we're good to go.
Basically, all that mean that dude behind the tree, like,
yeah,
you all that this weekend.
Yeah.
Figure out who's gonna
what up? Yeah, and then of course the Eagles, Buccaneers. I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers, man. No disrespect to Birds, but
I don't know, but I think they're still suspect, man. I don't know. I can't trust a team with what's his name at quarterback.
I slept, man. I slept on I was always placing the Buccaneers as one of those teams. Like, don't sleep on this team. And shout outs to Rivalry Sports. We're a huge Patriots fan, but he was like, I don't know why you're tripping, Rez. Like, Tom Brady ain't playing for them no more. Like, we're good to go. I don't know. It's just something about that team, man. You can't count them out.
Thing is, though, they couldn't even score a touchdown against the Panthers.
Yeah.
The Panthers.
That's true. That's true. But
I know division rival and all, you play different against the division. I understand that. But the Panthers.
But who are you rooting for?
I know.
There you go, right?
I know. It's just like I said, I'm definitely going to be a hater. I'm going to root against Philly. But it wouldn't shock me if I be like another week of, of everybody puffing their chest. See, we're back. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, you beat the Buccaneers, guys. Come on. Come on now.
Yeah.
Like,
so those are my predictions. Uncle Lou, I don't know if you want to give your quick 6 predictions and those matchups.
I think you're pretty right on. Like I said, I think Texans, though. I think that's the one matchup where we differ. I think the Texans could actually pull the upset, even though I think they are playing at home, because division championship and all that. But I think I expect, Texans to pull the upset of the weekend. So
what up, Big Bone?
What's up, Rez? How you doing, man?
Loving the shirt, bro. Loving
there
it.
You go. There you go.
Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Respect, man.
See, everybody understood the assignment this week.
Yeah, so we're this is a 2-part episode. We're talking sports and we're gonna be talking wrestling pretty soon here on the stream. But I just wanted to get everybody's kind of opinions on the whole NFL situation right now, because obviously the wild card's coming up this weekend, and then of course you have the divisional rounds, and then pretty soon you're gonna have the Super Bowl, which is gonna be coming up. What is who do you guys think are going to make it? Let me ask you first, Big John. I don't know if you heard the wild card rounds, but I know you're a Bears fan. I know the Bears are not really going to be in this, but who do you got winning these rounds, and who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl?
I'll tell you who I'm rooting for, man. I'm rooting for Detroit.
Respect.
Yeah, I know they're our rival. I know they're my rival, but you know what? I've been watching the Lions, and you know what? It's been a hell of a season for them. I've seen them put in the work. I'm going with the Lions.
Well, okay, that's cool. That's good. I thought you were going for Green Bay for some reason.
Dude,
that'd be like me rooting for Philly.
Come on, man.
I'm pulling your leg.
No, Green Bay. I'm rooting for the Lions, but not Green Bay.
I got you, man.
See, it's like the Dallas Eagles thing. See, it's like that.
No, trust me, I'm with you. When it comes to the Seahawks. By the way, I don't know if you guys heard, but Pete Carroll will no longer be the head coach for the Seattle Seahawks after 15 seasons.
How do you feel about that?
Seahawks friends are sad.
I mean, honestly, after Russell Wilson left, I was kind of woo-ah, woo-ah, let's put our hands up. Honestly, I think Pete Carroll should get a lifetime deal with Trident or whatever gum he's always chewing. I think they should offer that man some sort of lifetime deal. I was told that Pete Carroll will still be, I guess, an advisor for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, he'll still be involved with the Seahawks.
So he's not going to be entirely away from the organization, but moving his, his whole job and stuff.
Unless you want to get on there and heckle Lou.
Yeah.
Yo.
What up?
Yo, Lou. Who's your team playing?
Oh, snap. Here we go.
That's
I
right.
don't really give a shit. Like I said, I'm a hater. I put the disclaimer at the beginning of the show. I'm a hater.
Birds up
You guys.
Oh my God! Please let him talk real quick because he's yelling in my ear.
Look, next season you guys won't have Barkley, and you're still going to have Danny Derps as your quarterback. Good luck with that.
Hey, Lou. Hey, Lou.
Yeah.
In all honesty, man, I don't know if you knew, dude. We went to MetLife for that game, dude. That was brutal. Your fans suck, dude. It was so Dude, it was so cold in there. The stadium was frozen.
Ice skating rink.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, I honestly am not a fan of that stadium at all. It was all right when it opened 13 years ago, but now it's
Is that how
we got shortchanged, man? That stadium is garbage.
It was our first time in there.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
tried to. He went in there tried to be prepared. He wore a white Deshaun Jackson jersey for the miracle at the Meadowlands. But
of course, he
it
did.
was a miracle that we got out of there alive.
I kept bringing in baseball to them.
Dude, I have nothing because I only like the Eagles. I don't like any other sports. I don't care for any other sports. And as soon as the Eagles start getting their ass whipped, he starts saying the Mets suck, the Knicks suck. Yeah, and he's going to other sports, and I'm just sitting there like, this sucks.
Yeah, I just went baseball because the Knicks just beat the Sixers the other night.
So he's in there. He's in there chanting "Go Phillies."
Oh my God!
Because while New York was dark in October,
typical Philly fan, though.
We just come back.
That's all right.
We just come back from KFC.
I've been dealing with that for a long time.
That's all right.
Is that Baja Blast? What is that? Baja Blast?
No, I had Baja, but the Wild Cherry Pepsi was hit. He's got Baja. I had Baja in my first glass, but the Wild Cherry Pepsi was hit.
Pepsi's the bomb.
I got that.
It's crazy now that they have a Baja Blast Zero.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude, I'm pissed off because that whole New Year, New Me bullshit. That people do. I told myself, you know what? I was like, I go to the grocery store and I was like, let me go in here and get like a diet soda. And sure as shit, I walk over there and they're not only are they on sale, 12 packs of Baja Blast. I was like, yep. I was like, I'm not buying them. I'm not buying diet yet. So I didn't.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on, Big John? I was actually going to fucking hit you up, man, and let you know just in case you didn't know that Rez was doing a wrestling live tonight.
I was gonna hop on anyway. I saw the rest of the story. I was like, well, I'm available.
That's what's up, man.
I know.
I'm glad you found time to hang out with us, considering you're rubbing elbows with all these Hall of Fame wrestlers and hanging out with Dallas Page like it's nothing.
Right?
Hey, I do Dallas's yoga program. I
there you
restarted that again.
Yeah, the next time you talk to Dallas, tell him that we all said hi.
Yeah,
I will.
Don't big time us now.
We know that Rez is just gonna have his feet up this weekend watching the other football with his team with the bye week. Just sitting back, chilling, relaxing.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
That was us last year.
That was
like I said, that's the meme. He's gonna be that meme. Just sitting
there
like
I love my birds, man, but I don't know what the fuck happened, man. The wheels have just. Maybe your boy Bosa was right, Rez. He said that they exposed us, and we ain't done shit since.
Yeah, we're still exposed.
Dude, you saw the Niners.
We could have just gotten a stop against
the
Cardinals and the Seahawks. We'd have won them, but
dude, the Niners were like they were on a mission, dude. Like I don't know if you heard, but like Fred Warner, our linebacker, was saying that like everybody came in your guys' stadium and they were all wearing black.
Yeah,
like basically like they were like we didn't even plan this. Like we all just kind of had this in our head already.
So we're going to a funeral.
They came in, man. And I'm telling you right now, like I said, that last season with the NFC Championship game is a different narrative when you don't have your quarterback. Like we were
dude, I was sitting there watching that fucking game with Mighty. And I looked over and it's like 31-7. I looked over at Mighty and I was like, dude, why doesn't this feel right? Like we're going to the Super Bowl and it doesn't feel right.
I think it would have been a closer game if Purdy would have stayed healthy, but the Eagles are on such a roll at that point. I think we still would have won, but that's just my bias.
I mean, you literally became a one-man.
It could have gone either way.
If McCaffrey wasn't digging you out of it last year, I mean, and then he scored the only touchdown you guys had.
They literally were going to put McCaffrey as a quarterback. Like how desperate is that, dude? When you're getting your quarterback,
I wasn't overly excited. I kept telling him, dude, it's like this doesn't feel right. Like you want to be excited. Like I always compared it to what it was like beating Brady, as opposed to if you remember right, fucking Jacksonville almost upset them in the AFC Championship. So we would have played Blake Bortles. Like you want to beat the best,
Yeah,
of course.
And so we did. But and last year, Purdy out Josh Johnson, didn't he show up and we knocked him out too? And then Purdy comes back in and just basically just hands off. So, but anyways.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at snacks on the.
It's definitely going to be. I think it's going to be a movie for sure. and I'm excited for this wild card matchup.
I still have a feeling
I know
that
it's been a tough week for Snacks with Michigan winning, but I know it's been tough.
But
Sorry, I made the mistake.
I was actually at the gym when Washington was playing that, and I was like, oh, they're catching up. And I don't know much about college ball because I don't watch college ball regularly like I do with
Yeah, me either.
But it's always exciting to see two colleges, especially teams like that go at it. And yeah, no, shout outs to Michigan, man, the boys in blue, but yeah, it was
oh man.
Going back to the NFL. What's your guys' predictions real quick to who's gonna get past this or who's gonna win these wild card games? And what's your Super Bowl predictions?
I mean, dude, on paper right now, I mean, how do you not say Niners Ravens again? I mean, at this point, I mean, there's some teams that are just I think that are probably underrated heading in. Like, I mean, I think the Lions could make some noise, and and me being very biased against the Ravens. God, I can't even tell you how bad I'd love to see Flacco go in there and knock them off. Oh, that'd be hilarious. Yeah. So for the AFC,
man, we didn't need to win that game, bro. It's good. Relax. We weren't even using any of our starters. This is coming from a Cowboys fan, bro. Relax. Worry about your team, all right?
Oh, God. Yeah, he better worry about his team. They can't get out.
Yeah, come on, Rez. What happened, Rez? You got Wentz.
We're good. We're good.
Wentz come in there and score 5 touchdowns.
We gotta let Sean McVay win. We gotta let him feel himself a little bit.
Right.
We're good. We're good.
I mean, I'm kidding, dude. You didn't even play. Purdy and fucking McCaffrey didn't even play.
We're good.
They didn't even suit up.
We're good in the hood, y'all.
Oh,
Cowboys, Ravens. Oh God, here we go.
Dallas fans only talk when they win. No. You watch. If Dallas loses, you will not hear a peep from any of their fans. Once they lose, they all go and hide it.
He's a realist.
Do I need to change my profile pic to Debo laying on the star again? Like, do I need to do this?
No, you need to change it. Rez, you need to change it to Dak Prescott running the clock out. That's clearly running the clock out. Losing the game. That's what you need to change.
Those memes. Those memes.
That was the best.
Those memes were pretty funny. 14 seconds to go. No timeouts. 14 seconds to go. No timeouts, and you run it up the gut.
Cowboy got a cowboy. That's what it is. It's that second round. Just like my Sixers, we can't get out of it.
Yeah, that's the one. See, that's the one thing I'm scared of right now is our kicker, Jake Moody, Michigan boy. So Michigan boy, he's the reason why we lost against the Rams, yo.
No, I mean that's what I said to Mighty just before I logged on. You said something about when you lost to Cleveland. I'm like, well, if your kicker would have made it, I mean, you only lost because of field goals. I mean, that's all.
I mean, when it goes down to the wire, man, those are the things that count.
Exactly. Like I said, I'm rooting against Philly, but I don't see them I don't see Tampa beating them.
Rooting against Philly? No, he would never do that. No, really?
Then next thing you tell me, water's wet and the sun comes out, right? Sky's blue. No, but I don't see Tampa Bay, man. You guys, I think you could get the ship righted against Tampa. If you all lose to Tampa, like, come on.
I have no explanation.
Against Carolina.
It has just been a shit show since the Niners game, since the second quarter of the Niners game.
Yeah. Like I said, even on
I was like half excited.
Honestly, that was the Cardinals game that you guys played. I was like, I was at a loss for words. I was like, yo,
me too.
What is going on?
It just sucks that we got out to what was it, 28 seconds left in the Seahawk game, and then 38 seconds left in the Cardinals game, and we lost both of them with that amount of time left.
Oh, yeah.
We could have won the division, but regardless, I mean, there's still the question. I mean, we can't get out of our own way. I just don't understand what's happened. But
what do you think is your
guys coming into this game though?
Yeah.
Too.
I just told Neil, I was like, man, I'd hate to lose. I don't even want to be competitive and then still fuck around and find a way to lose. I'd rather just get blown out and then figure out what they're going to do with the coaching staff after that.
You think that you guys are going to get rid of Sirianni if you guys don't make it this season?
No, I don't think so.
If they get blown out like that.
No, Mighty thinks so, but I don't.
If they lose.
Stranger things have
He
happened.
wants him gone, but I don't.
Y'all fired Peterson and he won y'all a Super Bowl, so.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that I'm kind of just, I'm kind of worried about, what they're, they're just a lot of the Philly talk around here is just how Jalen's just regressed and so on and so forth.
He's hurt.
No.
I mean, honestly, I don't know what the hell has happened, but, I'm not going to sit here and just, boo-hoo about my team, and all that. This is, I mean, my predictions, Rez, if you were asking, oh man, Rez, where'd you go?
He's there.
I'm here.
And well, like I said, my Super Bowl prediction. I mean, I'll just leave it at that, bud. And then if you want to just ask everybody else, let everybody else talk because I'll ramble if you don't shut me up. I mean, I think just on paper right now, it's still the Rams and it's the 49ers and the Ravens.
Yeah.
Which absolutely disgusts me, but it's. And not any given Sunday anymore. It's any given playoff game. It's so we'll see. I mean, I have my hopes and my doubts, but if everything runs its course, I would probably say that it's going to end up, on paper, the Ravens and the Cowboys rematched at a neutral site would probably be the best. It'd be the best. I mean, I think Lou and I can agree that it would be definitely ideal to get the Cowboys out at some point so that way they can't NFC Championship this and Super Bowl that. I don't want to hear any of that shit. I want that streak of 30 years to keep going.
See, the only reason I would even root for Dallas, like I said, my dad's a Cowboys fan. So, finally maybe, see him cross that threshold in the first time, like I said, since my brother was a year old. It'll be different, but it'd be one of those like we'll watch the game and the Cowboys happen to lose. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. But in my head, I'm going, finally. Don't say it out loud because it's gonna hurt your family's feelings. But at the same time, it's like, all right, at least let's move. It's like, oh, that's so bad. Moving on.
So we got the excellence of execution. What do you think, Big John?
I'll tell you what, I agree with the both of y'all, man. Listen, I got family who's Cowboys fans, and I got people I work with that are Cowboys fans. That's all I hear, and I'm tired of it. I want them shutting up. So I agree with the both of y'all. I don't want them. They drive me crazy.
So if you guys,
I was going to say, Rez, who do you have going against your Niners in the Super Bowl?
Dude, I mean, honestly, everything. I think that match against Baltimore was kind of a preview of what we might see in the Super Bowl, assuming everyone's healthy and all that jazz. But I think it's going to be Baltimore versus San Francisco. If the stars align, I think that's my prediction. And obviously, we know what happened back when Harbaugh, the battle of the Harbaughs, when Jim and John Harbaugh were going at it against 49ers of Baltimore. Obviously, Baltimore won, but
yeah, when the lights went out,
I don't know what's gonna happen, man. But I do know that if the Niners make it to the Super Bowl again, man.
Hey, Rez, did you ever hear that? That was actually kind of funny. I just thought about that. That remember, I think you had Ted Ginn back then. He was returning your punts back in that Super Bowl, wasn't he?
Who was it?
Ted Ginn.
Ted Ginn, yeah, I believe he was.
Because he was like super fast, yada yada yada. I remember they had Flacco mic'd for the Super Bowl, and Flacco says, "If he breaks it, I'm going to run out and tackle him." If he because they kicked off to you, and that was basically like their chance. They were going to just lateral, and Ginn went around to the left side, and Flacco says, "If he breaks it, I'm going to run out on the field and tackle him." Was Crabtree held on that? Was it PI?
Man, I don't know. I try to erase that game out of my memory because
a friend of mine was in that end zone. He was a Ravens fan.
Really?
Yeah, he was like super happy, you know, he got to see Ray kind of have a defensive stand, you know, and walk off kind of deal.
Yeah, no, that was a hard game to watch. I mean, I know.
Oh, they won.
I was really hoping that they would have won that game.
We're gonna lose this year, bro.
Yo, what up, Sam? We're talking about the NFL right now, talking about the wild card predictions, and then also the Super Bowl, and which teams you guys think will pull out to this game. But I don't know, man. I don't know 49ers Chiefs again. I just don't see Kansas City pulling through this season, man. They've made too many mistakes. I think, especially the like minor stuff, like I said, like the offsides and stuff like that, and just I think it's kind of gotten to their head a little bit. And
the Kadarius Toney curse.
Hey, Rez, how would you feel about Buffalo if Allen can stay fucking turnover free? He had 3 turnovers alone against Miami and still beat them.
I think Buffalo is one of those sleeper teams, man. Like how you guys feel about or how Big John feels about the Lions. That's how I feel about Buffalo, man. Like I think it's one of those teams that's if the stars are right, man, I think they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But
that'd be the Chris Berman Super Bowl. Niners Bills.
Hey,
back in the early 90s.
It's Allen. We do.
Man, look at this Cowboys hate. Come on, bro.
That's all right.
Come on, man. Really? And y'all been saying we them boys since the beginning of time, and look where
they only say it after they win. When they lose, they don't say it.
They've been on their own quest since 1996. What is he talking about? What's this bullshit? It's a whole year difference.
It was a 1996 Super Bowl.
Well, you know.
That's all right. They haven't been them boys since.
Yeah.
I try to erase that game out of my memory, man, because like I said,
too.
That was an ugly game.
What game?
The 49ers Baltimore Super Bowl.
Oh, that one.
And that one too.
I thought you were talking about the Cowboys Steelers the last time they won the Super Bowl.
Oh no.
Yeah, what was funny is you remember Larry Brown, if I remember right, Larry Brown ended up the Cowboys defensive back. He got a big payday from the Raiders. And he left. And ironically, he was on an episode of Married with Children. He walked into the shoe store and was talking to Al Bundy in the shoe store. Yeah. And Ed O'Neill looks at him and goes, "Come on, Larry." He's like, "You could be honest with me." He goes, "He threw him right to you, didn't he?" And he goes, "Al, you know it, I know it, but the rest of the world don't know it. So it's just between us." Talking about Neil O'Donnell. Dude, when Neil O'Donnell threw those interceptions, there was no fucking Steeler. There was no Steeler anywhere in sight.
I think everybody's saying the Rams is that team to look out for, but I don't know, man. I don't think they're the team that they were like when they beat us. I mean,
they're a missed field goal away from losing to the Giants too. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying. Yo,
oh, yeah, that's true. The Rams beat you guys by 1, 26-25.
Yeah,
I saw the final. But I didn't go watch any highlights of that game. I just saw the final.
Yeah, they missed the game winning.
Honestly, I'm gonna give Daniel some credit here because I think that's the one team that I'm a little afraid of. I'm not gonna lie. I think the Cowboys. I think they're going to be playing harder than ever.
No, they're not, dude. If they make the NFC title game with you, they're not coming into your house and winning, bro. Sorry, nope.
So Cardis.
Okay.
Dude,
I'll take that. I'll take that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Speed kills. Oh man,
they're only good at home anyway.
Dude, they're not going to have an answer for for McCaffrey.
No.
Who does? I mean, who really does? A friend of mine's a Rams fan. And I remember looking over at him. We were sitting at the bar when it was announced that because the Rams were in the deal to get McCaffrey from Carolina, and when you got him, Rez, I looked over at my boy. I said, "Yo, y'all in trouble now." I said, "Y'all in trouble now." Y'all, and he was mad too. He was like, "Man, I wanted fucking McCaffrey bad."
I don't know if you guys watched like some of the podcasts that McCaffrey was in, but he was like talking about his whole process of getting traded to San Francisco. Like he literally flew out that same day that they made the trade and went straight to training practice with the 49ers. The same day he flew from North Carolina to San Francisco. He was like, yo, let's put him up. Like he was locked in. And then I think they played the Chiefs in his opening game with the 49ers, his debut game. They won. I think they won, actually, yeah. But damn, that's a crazy time for him for sure, man. And he went to Stanford, so he's definitely a local guy, like a Bay Area guy. He's not from the Bay, but he played here in his college. He definitely has ties with the Bay Area. What up, Rez? Just wanted to say, love your passion and taste in jerseys. I look forward to what you have in store for the future. Thank you, Wade. I really am excited for the channel. There's gonna be a lot of new jerseys that I have not shown to you guys yet on the channel that I'm gonna be working on very soon here. Once the weather starts getting a lot better and stuff like that. That's usually when I push out a lot of jerseys and stuff like that, or videos. But appreciate that nonetheless, man. GTC, please, Dak can't win on the road. Rez, we should have drafted him to begin with. His skill set was perfect for Kyle, but he drafted Solomon. My God. It is what it is, bro. The most important thing is he's here and he's with us. He's locked in. That's the most important thing.
Hey, Rez, is that a vintage Niners hat or is that like a vintage?
That's a great question because I actually don't know who made this hat because the tags were cut off. So I think
like that. That's definitely vintage.
Yeah, I think it is vintage. I mean, because this is I don't know the maker of this hat. I actually did a YouTube short on this, but if you guys have any information on this, please let me know.
It looks like mid to late 90s though, for the darker maroon color, like 96 and up.
You see the bill there. It's like a kind of like a burgundy.
Yeah, and that and the logo already has like the gold accents around it that didn't have them before that. So
I just love this font, man. Like vintage hats, man. They just pop so different.
That could be a logo. That could actually be a logo 7.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I love the way it fits. It fits super comfortable. And then I had this one that I wore for week 18 against the Rams, but of course.
Oh, that's definitely vintage. That's an
Apex 1, man. This is old school right here.
Yeah, they see operations, I think, 90 after the 94 season. Man. Out of
Love Apex 1, man. I love their hats. And then the brand, The Game. I don't know if you heard that one too.
Yeah, I remember The Game.
Oh yeah, it's early 90s too.
Yeah, back the Game hats back in the early 90s. I remember they had like that little G on the back of on the snapback.
I'm gonna wear this one probably in the first game.
Is that that's the 97?
Yeah.
That's probably 97 draft day.
Yeah, this is a crazy design right here too. Yeah. Sports Specialties.
Oh yeah. That's a mid 90s, mid to late 90s.
Yeah, 97 after because I think the championship caps, the AFC NFC title hats in after the.
This is how old it is. Look at this faded. Wow. Can't even see it. That's how faded it is. But
you look at the Sports Specialties logo. That was the funny thing about that logo was the newer logo towards the end. At that time, they're actually owned by Nike. And
really?
Yeah. Look at that logo. It looks very familiar.
You're right.
It's almost like an upside down swoosh.
It's like my go-to hat. I always wear this like when I want to go. It's kind of.
But I remember I used to wear Sports Specialties, and of course, back to the fitted, you couldn't even find a fitted in a fat ass head like mine, like a 7 or like a 7 and like a real small 7 was like a 6, 7, 8. Like that's the only ones that's the only fitteds that they ever made. And I remember when I got to high school here, I don't know how they were up in, in all your areas, like if you tried to wear a hat in school, but in middle school here in Maryland, I'm in Philly, but at home in Maryland, they didn't want you wearing hats. And I had the all green eagle scripted with the NFL logo on the side. That's the one that the Sports Specialties. And I remember principal walked up behind me in middle school, and I thought I was being slick. And back in them days, I used to wear my hat like this, way up, and then I had the wave with some hairspray to keep my hair, and my hat would sit right on top of my hair. Yeah, it was okay. It was the late 80s, so that's my out. But so he walked up, and he saw me in the hallway, and I thought I was being slick, and he walked up and took my hat off my head and told me I could have it back at the end of the year. I was so pissed. He held on to it, and
that sucks, man.
Yeah,
Dude, in high school, we couldn't even wear hats.
No, in high school here.
In high school here, you could wear hats and you could eat and drink in your classrooms.
Oh,
I would literally run after first period and run to the gym real quick and get a Pepsi or a Coke, and you could have chips and cookies. You could eat inside.
Damn.
Yeah, that was my math class. And I remember Mr. Thomas. He used to let us eat and drink, and you could wear hats. And you could actually wear hats in school, so you didn't have to worry about losing your shit. But the principal fucking snuck me in middle school and walked up, and I just felt my hat just go, and I turned around, and he goes, "You can have it back at the end of the year." I was like, "Shit."
Damn.
Yeah.
So I got it back.
I actually used to take the snap of the snapback and actually tie it around my belt loop.
Oh yeah.
And carry it like that. Carry it like that the rest of the day, and then
I did that too, like walking, and I wanted to make sure that it was sticking out so people could still see the fucking, my nice Eagles hat. Like, I don't know why, but I just.
Yeah, we couldn't wear no hats in high school, and especially we couldn't wear like any blue. We couldn't wear like red. I think
you couldn't wear a Druckenmiller jersey. Yay!
I couldn't wear that. I couldn't wear no YA Tittle. Like, couldn't wear nothing, man. Like,
dude, it's funny when you said that about the YA Tittle last week. I ran real quick to fucking Google. I was like, didn't Druckenmiller wear 14? And I'm looking, and that's why I before I put that in the comments, I went back and looked to make sure he wore 14.
Oh no, he did.
Yeah, nah, we couldn't wear. Dude, like, you can even ask Bay Area. Bay Area throwbacks will tell you why, like, number 14 and red don't go.
But they made a 1962 Giants YA Tittle.
Did they?
That's blue and white.
You gotta get right there. He says we could wear hats back in 92, 95 for high school. I don't know that's news to me. Yeah,
I went from 91 to 95 here, and no, it was still no in high school.
No, we're probably the same age then, aren't we, Lou?
Yeah.
I started wearing hats.
I started going to high school in 91, and I was class of 95. I failed first, though, so I might be a year older than you. I was born in 76.
Born 77, so yeah.
Yeah, I failed first grade and ended up with the same teacher. I guess she probably passed me. She didn't want to see me a third time.
Yeah. She probably like, oh, not this guy again.
I was a little shithead.
That wasn't a thing back then, man.
Well,
my dad. What's funny is, real quick, while on the topic of football, I never claimed to be a Steelers fan, and it was funny. I had a Steelers jacket in Bengal country because I grew up in Ohio, but I didn't feed into it. Like, I just wanted. All I was worried about was Transformers, He-Man, Thundercats, shit like that. And I asked my dad about that jacket, and he goes, "I wonder what happened to that jacket." He goes, "I was the one that bought that for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, got me." I have no idea. I just wore it. I didn't even know what it meant. Didn't know it was a football team.
Was it like a starter?
It was just a jacket just to wear.
Was it a starter jacket, or was it just a random?
If my dad bought it, it was probably just something cheap. I love my dad, and I know John and Rez. You guys have seen some of the stuff he's going through lately. He's his back, and he broke his wrist, and now he's got a blockage in his left leg. Jesus. That they're going to have to put a balloon in to open up that block. Jesus. And he's already had quadruple bypass surgery, so he's a walking medical report. But I love him to death, man. But he's cheap, and I can attest to that. Going to middle school, watching all my friends wearing Flights and Nike Force and Jordans, and I'm wearing Top Gun shoes from Kmart. Dude, I'll never forget walking in. A friend of mine, Peanut. I'll never forget him getting me. I walk in, and he spots my feet immediately and starts running around with his arms out like an airplane, going meow meow. And I just got to take it, and it's embarrassing to shit. Parents Just Don't Understand by GJ, Jazzy Jeff, and the Fresh Prince. Everything Will says in that shit is true. Like, that song came out in 88, 89. I had the tape. So it's the truth. Like, when you go to school, man, you don't want to get clowned.
No.
I remember And another friend of mine, this guy Jeff that I know that I went to school with. I'll keep it short. We were on the bus one time, and you guys remember, especially Lou, you probably definitely know, but remember they were plastic like footballs, basketballs, Voit, Voit. Well, they dabbled in shoes, I guess, at one point, and I remember putting them on, going, "Oh man!" I'm like, "Well, they make basketballs and stuff like that, so they can't be that bad." Right.
Those were Payless, I think. Those used to be fun.
I remember getting on the bus, and I remember we were going on a field trip, and this dude Jeff gets on, and he looks at that and he goes, "What's that say? Volt?" And I was like, "No, it's Voit, man." I'm trying to stick up for him. I was like, "It's Voit, man." I'm like, they make basketballs and stuff, and he just continued to make fun of me. And what was it? 30 years later or something, he had something bad happen to him, and he talked about it on Facebook. I got in the comments and I said, "That's what you get for making fun of my shoes 30 years ago."
Yeah.
Like, I keep my receipts.
The first pair of Pumas that I ever got, I was so happy because it was a pair of shoes that were actually sewn together, and they weren't gonna fall apart. But by the way, those Top Gun shoes that I was telling you about, two pairs for $20. My dad said you better make them last. We're playing basketball, and not to mention we're playing at an old like my school was really old. It used to be a high school in the 30s, and then got converted to a middle school. And I go running down the court. So the back basketball court was just it was shit. I got plastic shoes on and I'm running down. And when I go to run down and I see this kid Todd, I'll never forget. He's coming to block the shot, and I hesitate. When I stop to hesitate, my foot blew right out the side of the shoe.
Oh my God!
You blew the air bubble?
There was no air bubble, dude.
I don't think there was air bubble.
It had those same kind of canvas feel like the Jordan ones. Like, and they weren't comfortable for fucking anything. First time I got a pair of Nikes, I actually got a picture of me wearing them. Like, I had the wave, and I think I was wearing my Dick Tracy shirt. That was right when the Dick Tracy movie came out. And that was my first pair of Nikes, and I wore them religiously.
That was what, 89, 90?
Got them from Value City.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me shit. First pair of Nikes I ever owned, you couldn't tell me shit. And then when I started dating that sugar mama in '93, that's when I got the Diamond Turfs. I had the playoff 8s. Like I had the Bo Jacksons. I had the real. I had all the real shit then. I had her buying me jerseys. We were going to Pro Image, like it was going out of style.
There you go.
Also, the one thing I'll always remember about going to that Pro Image is I only bought replica jerseys, like the champion ones, the replicas that were like $30, $40.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I ever saw an authentic, I walked in there and looked up, and they had a Sean Kemp authentic Sonics 92, 93 hanging up on the wall. Nice. And I saw $140. I was like, who would ever buy a $140 jersey?
Fast forward.
How times have changed.
Right? Time machine, right?
And shout out to Mighty. He actually has that same jersey. He has that champion. I don't think it fits, but he has one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember actually the first jersey I ever saw was an Apex Authentic. It was an Apex Authentic LT.
Football?
Back then, it had no name on the back.
Oh yeah, there was no player.
It had everything else: NFL Shield, Apex logos on the sleeve.
Yeah, for the longest time they didn't have any player rights. Yeah,
right. I think that happened to go into the CBA that actually granted the free agency to start with. That's where you start seeing all these replicas with names on it and authentics with names on it between 93 and 94. But either way, that was the first one I saw was an Apex Authentic in front of not Motels. They became Motel. That store, after it closed down, that Motels came in that place, but it was Herman's in front of a Herman's.
Yeah, dude, we had a Herman's here. I remember.
And we
had a Herman's, we had a Marvin's. The last time I got to shop at a Marvin's was when Reebok kind of flooded the market with the 2004 Pro Bowl jerseys.
Oh my Lord!
And I mean, dude, they were retail $360, and the last one that I was able to get, a friend of mine bought me. We went in there and he goes, "Dude, I'll get you one for your birthday. What do you want?" I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" He had a credit card. He wasn't worried about it. He bought me McNabb, which I actually 20 years later I still own it.
Damn.
It was a 56, and they ran big. And I was almost 500 pounds when he bought it for me. So I took it. I bought it smaller, and it didn't fit. Now it fits good. So
There
I
you go.
lost.
Nice.
I'm about 180, 100 pound, probably lighter than I was then. But I've hit that wall. I think if I cut soda out and start eating a little bit better, I could get down under 300. And
so I want to kind of
sorry about that, Rez. Got you.
No, you're good. You're good, man. I kind of want to switch gears, man, because I know there's a lot of wrestling fans. It's gonna be interesting, man. But before we start jumping into the wrestling segment, man, I want to say this real quick. So me and my wife watched the movie over the weekend. We're a little late because this movie it's been out for I think almost a month now.
You watched Iron Claw?
Yes.
I grew up in that era. I grew up in that era, and I was never a Von Erich guy, man. Like, how was the movie?
First things first. Like, I didn't know much other than the whole Kerry, Ric Flair segment and stuff like that. Him winning the title, but the movie is really good. I think it really depicts the Von Erich family really well. There's a lot of things that are that are very similar to what happened in their actual lives. But there were slight changes that they made. I don't want to go too much into it, but it's basically a movie about, what's his name, Fritz, the father.
Yeah, Fritz Von Erich. Yeah.
So he pretty much was a wrestler, retired, and he had all boys in his family. I think he had like 4 or 5 boys. In real life, I don't remember. I think he had.
Kevin's the only one left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so there's Kevin Von Erich, which is pretty much portrayed by Zac Efron. You have Kerry, who is portrayed by Jeremy Allen White, and then the other 2 guys, I don't know their name.
One is David
Von Erich,
who played David Von Erich. But basically, the story follows their family and their close ties with pro wrestling, and it's a really great movie. I think it's interesting. Because like my wife's not really into wrestling, but she really loved the movie because she said it's like a dramatized series, a dramatized movie, but it basically focuses on kind of the rise and fall of the Von Erich family and kind of their impact that they had with pro wrestling. Like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, when they had a segment with Harley Race on there, I was like, is that Harley? Like, is that really him? I had to Google it because I was like, that looks like Harley Race, but I was like, how could that be? Like, is this CGI? Yeah, and no, like they had an actor that played Harley Race that looked just like him.
At least he looked like Harley Race. When I see the guy who played Ric Flair,
dude, that was my one thing. I was like, okay, he's the accent could be a little better, but
dude, I thought the same thing when I saw the. I thought the same thing when I saw the skit where they kind of show the actor that played Flair talking. I was like, dude, he's not trying hard enough.
Nope.
What's up, Pistol?
He's not trying hard enough.
Yeah,
that's not fair.
Yeah, I actually that is.
I got a Flair vibe from him, but I was like, you could tell it wasn't Rick. I'm like, you can just Google Rick. I mean, well, me and you, Lou, probably grew up in that era.
Dude, I heard Jay Lethal do a better Ric Flair than that dude.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've seen that woo off they had. How many times that'll come up on Facebook? Dude, Jay does a hell of a Flair and a Macho Man.
I really think that the movie was, in my opinion, it was a really, really good adaptation of the Von Erich family. And this is coming from somebody who doesn't know much about their family, so I might be a little biased, but I think the portrayal of Zac Efron as Kevin was phenomenal. And of course, Kevin Von Erich actually gave his input to the movie. Like it's not like they just made something without even asking and reaching out to the family, which is good because it obviously you're coming directly to the source. And the portrayal of it, man, like, damn, I had no idea. Like,
yeah, I hope Kevin did well financially too, from just giving up the story, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Because the only thing I ever knew about him, like I said, I wasn't a Von Erich guy because they wrestled in world class, and I never paid any attention to any of that. Like, I paid attention to. I'm telling you, I was a WWE guy, and I mean, or WWF. So when Kerry came over and became the Texas Tornado, I was into that because, he had a beef with Kurt Hennig, and they put on a pretty good show for the Intercontinental title a little bit here and there. I think Kerry was at WrestleMania 7. I think he was on the card. You know, and that was my heyday. That was when I was watching. Sorry, John. This is well before you were born.
Oh yeah,
dude. Trust me, I never really got to see the Von Erichs wrestle either. Not at least not in their prime. You know.
Yeah, but you listen to a lot of those guys. You listen to Stone Cold and all them, and they talk about the Von Erichs and going.
Undertaker.
And Steve will tell you going to the Sportatorium. He talks it up.
I was literally watching. I think this actually was about a year ago when Undertaker was on the Mike Tyson podcast, and he talked about how he literally
Mark did too.
He went to like the Sportatorium, like where WCCW was like for 8 months straight when they were like getting like the wrestlers were getting their paychecks, try to get booked, and he was literally go every Wednesday for 8 months straight to get noticed. And he said that it was not long after David passed that
87
that one of those times that I guess Fritz passed by and he kind of looked over, kind of like finally noticed them. Yeah. And he could overhear him talking to one of the I forgot who he was, the other person, like the booker basically, who set up the matches or whatever, set up the the pay the wrestlers and all that shit. And he basically said, "Hey, you know who that one?" I said, "No." He goes, "Book him on Friday. Kind of looks like David." If it wasn't for that Mark had a passing resemblance to David Von Erich, or at least in Fritz's eyes, he would have never had
Undertaker.
A shot. Yeah, he would have never had a shot to wrestle. That would have been that was like his first. He trained here and there, but he had his first match mostly because by coincidence that Fritz kind of reminded him of David and just finally got booked and kind of got started. That's according to the Undertaker, which is like mind blowing because he basically, like I said, he was about ready to give up on the whole wrestling dream altogether because he was going he every week for 8 months, literally trying to get noticed. And it's
hard to believe what he was told, wasn't it? That when he went back to WCW and trying to get a pay raise, and they told him that nobody would ever pay to watch him wrestle. Oops.
Oh, that's one of many WCW mistakes.
Yeah.
But if you guys
arguably the best wrestling entrance ever, like Steve even said, Stone Cold was like, man, I would come out and watch fucking Undertaker come out. And he goes, it'd give me chills just watching him walk to the ring.
Oh yeah, I witnessed that entrance multiple
times. And Steve was bigger than him at the time.
Yeah. Even like back in 2012 when I went to a Raw before, I think weeks before WrestleMania that year. I think it was WrestleMania 28. I think it was. Yeah, it was the one in Miami. Dude, I was in Philly for a Raw like 3 weeks out before WrestleMania.
Was that the one where the pyro got Taker?
Huh?
Is that the one where the pyro got Taker?
No, that was actually, I think, the pay-per-view prior to that. I think it was the match. But the whole entrance, dude, like I felt like a kid again, just watching, the room, like the temperature drops, like literally, like in the stadium, and all of a sudden, like the lights go. It just felt like, like 12-year-old me again, just watching him come out, and he's one of the best. Like I said, that guy's one of my favorites of all time. Austin's one of my favorites of all time. But props to Taker, man. Like that dude. He made a gimmick that, by all intents and purposes, shouldn't have worked past like the mid-90s.
The best of the story, though, is when he came in and he had talked to he'd been going back and forth with Brother Love, with Bruce Pritchard, about what to do with what they were going to bring him in as. And if you remember, and I remember this, they were building up. Mean Gene was who is in the egg. And Taker tells Austin on the Broken Skulls podcast, he goes, Steve, honestly, he goes, I thought they were going to have me come out of that damn egg. And he goes, but I tell you what, I needed a job, so I was going to be the best egg man that I could be. And Steve's busting out laughing. They're taking shots and shit like that. And then all of a sudden he gets a call from Vince and he goes, can I speak to the Undertaker? And he goes, the Undertaker, that sounds better than Eggman. Yeah, this is the Undertaker. And the rest is history. And ironically, a lot of people don't know this either, that he actually wrestled as Kane, the Undertaker. He had a TV taping before, so he had already appeared to a crowd of people before the Survivor Series.
Right.
Yeah. So
He was Kane.
So he was Kane.
And he was spelled like the Bible Kane as well.
Yeah, like and Howard Finkel announced him as Kane the Undertaker. Like, so yeah.
All right.
So, got a little backstory to it.
All right, guys. I don't want to cut you off, but
and Coco,
I know we're talking wrestling, but I wanna start jumping into the actual the topic that I had for you guys, and that topic is best wrestling T-shirts of all time. So I know some people out there don't wear wrestling stuff. I get it, but I think one of the most notable things for pro wrestling is the apparel that comes with it. Obviously, like there's so many different T-shirts that they make for different wrestlers and different occasions.
What era are we going with here, Riz?
This is any.
Dude, I had Brutus the Barber Beefcake signed. I went out as Brutus in 1988 as Brutus, and I mean my getup was not very good, but I had that. I remember I told you I had that uncle that worked for the WWF. He was a cameraman, so he got Ed Brutus the Barber Beefcake, got him to sign it. So awesome. So I like the T-shirts, the original Hulkamanias, the Macho Mans, Andre with the hand and the foot. Like, you know, I'm kind of a fan of those.
So this, just kind of for clarification on these best T-shirts of all time, this could be any era. It's not limited to WWE or WWF or whatever era you want to. This applies to any wrestling promotional company, AEW, WCW, ECW, TNA, ROH, whatever, like any New Japan, like whatever wrestling promotion.
Big John is here. You must went to go get one.
All you got to do.
Can I start?
Yeah. So we'll have
Lou's already wearing his.
He'll start his off. I'm gonna write mine down.
Technically, kind of like this one.
The floor is yours. Here, let me highlight your screen real quick.
Honorable mentions: DX, original DX silver and black shirt. You know.
Yep.
Generation X, 2 words. The original Yes shirt. Remember those? The maroon one that said yes, yes, yes. Alternatively, there was a no, no, no T-shirt as well, but the Yes shirt.
Dude, he was so over.
Right? A one-word shirt. That who's your poppy? To this day, that's something that's still, you know, I mean, Rhea Ripley's.
Oh, it's about time, fucker. It's about time, fucker.
I'm sorry that I was working.
That's all good. I'm your poppy shirt to this day. Every time I even to casual wrestling fans, like, yo, my favorite shirt, the Eddie Guerrero, I'm your poppy shirt. But that's honorable mentions because the 5 that I have in my list, man, better. Number 5, the original version of this, the white one with what we call it, with the black accents on it. The original, they said best in
his original one, right?
Yeah. Dude, that shirt, that was a shirt that finally unseated Cena as a top seller in WWE back in 2011. Like, that's how big that shirt was.
Hey, Rez, them sounds like fighting words.
No, it was. No, seriously, no joke.
You can't argue with numbers.
That was the one. The numbers are there.
I'm just interested in hearing this because I have my
number
list.
4, Bullet Club shirt. I'm talking Bullet Club with the skull on the front. Because I know that's not technically the first Bullet Club shirt, but that was the shirt. Like, that's at the time when the Elite were part of the Bullet Club, like the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Cody. Those guys were part of Bullet Club at the time. You couldn't walk like 2 blocks in this area or anywhere without seeing somebody in the Bullet Club shirt.
Bro, they literally had them at Hot Topic. You could go to the mall and buy a Bullet Club shirt.
Exactly. Like, that shirt was like, I remember I was like, damn, this is the biggest shirt since like.
I actually have one, just FYI for clarification.
Yeah, so there you go.
Speaking of, I was gonna say, fucking AEW Mark.
There you go.
No, hold. To clarify though, I had the one, the Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow.
Oh, the Vigilante Club shirt.
Yeah, I had that one. Okay.
Wait a minute.
All right, carry on. Carry the hell on.
No, I don't have it up here. I have it somewhere, but that one. That was the biggest, to me, that was the biggest wrestling shirt since Number 3, the original NWO shirt. I'm talking black and white NWO logo, not the ones that came after, not the, Wolfpack.
Don't you dare disrespect the Wolfpack in front of me. Hey, I'll fight you.
Listen. I still have the WCW red Wolfpack shirt from 1998. Oh! The one with the wolf in the front, the one that WWE has re-released since. I have that one. Mine says copyright WC World Championship Wrestling on it.
Nash was wearing the shit out of that.
So, number 2, original Austin 316 with the smoking skull in the back. That's when Vince saw money signs for Stone Cold. Because at the time, same thing with the NWO shirts. Wait, you guys are buying shirts of the bad guys? You could do that? That shirt was selling like you couldn't keep it. You couldn't keep it in house shows or even the old WWF Shop Zone magazine and shit. So, but number 1, I gotta give it to the original Red Hulkamania shirt. Why?
Whoa.
If you think about it, it's the wrestling shirt that started everything. It's the original wrestling shirt. You could go with the yellow one too. It don't matter. Hulkamania shirts was like the gateway to. If that wasn't for that shirt,
yeah, I agree with Snacks. The original yellow one was the.
I have a soft spot for the Hulk Rules t-shirt though, but original Hulkamania shirt. Matter of fact, Hulk Hogan used to make his own. He used to get his own shirts printed when he was in AWA. It was Hulk A Mania in red and white. Then when he re-signed with WWF with Vince Jr. and all that stuff, that's when, Vince is like, wait, you merchandise? We could work with that. And
after the Rocky
Mania shirt,
yeah,
that was the explosion right there. So if you could trace back the origin of today's wrestling merchandise, you could trace it back to the Hulkamania shirt.
I love to know what it would have been like to be in an arena and actually hear "Eye of the Tiger."
Oh,
I know.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Big Tony, what's up, Tony?
What's up, PLB?
I'm just listening onto the conversations. I was listening to Lou describing his wrestling shirts. Just for the record, I have that same CM Punk shirt you have in the background. I ordered it. I got mine not too long ago.
Yeah, mine came tonight actually. So
that's the new one, right? Back in.
Yeah. I plan on getting another one soon though, because I kind of want to have a couple of them just to be sure. One to rock, one to stock.
That's how you know you're addicted, bro. When you get multiples of the same shirt. Trust me, I've been there.
I know, because I'm trying to find shirts from 2011, 2012, and they're too expensive.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Let me highlight some comments real quick because I don't want people to feel left out in the comments. But GTC said NWO. He's talking about the shirt. Macho Man. Stone Cold. Dude, you gotta be specific. Like, there's so many tees from Stone Cold, so many Macho Man tees. Bullet Club is fire.
You see my pictures, right? How many Stone Cold shirts I
Punk I love. Austin 316, that is a classic. Snack said Hulkamania yellow shirt is a GOAT of all WWF shirts. NWO is on my all-time favorite, and it's a wonder how the fuck Bischoff didn't license it. Everyone had an NWO shirt. Yeah, I know.
He did.
I do want to say one of my favorite all-time shirts is Stone Cold. It's him doing the signature when he's standing on the rope with the 2 fingers. However, his arms were replaced with rattlesnakes. That's one of my favorite.
That one's dope.
You just actually stole one on my list. Damn you, bro. No, that is a classic. That is a classic shirt.
I bought that one at WrestleMania 15.
Hey, real quick, when we do our list, are we allowed to have multiple of the same person?
The story about Steve?
What?
Yeah, you can. It's your list, man.
Okay, because I've got like one person in particular that takes up 2 spots.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 kid shirts. Make 1, 2, 3 shirts.
Hey, I want a 6 shirt.
Hey, Lou. Lou, you brought up WrestleMania 15. Did you remember what happened? Steve addressed it. Steve fucked around and forgot his vest.
That's why he walked out in the shirt.
That's why he walked out wearing a shirt. He's like, man, he said I fucked everything up. He was talking about.
Yeah.
What?
He forgot the vest.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty good about
who wants to go next? Because I'm finishing up my list right now. But does anybody else want to go next and describe their favorite wrestling shirts of all time? Big John.
I can.
POB, I'll let you go after Big John because I saw his hand up.
For sure. Go ahead, Big John.
Go ahead, John.
All right. Number one for me would be the Eddie Guerrero Scarface shirt. You know what?
Yo, you just took another one from my list.
I'm sorry.
Damn. All right. Okay.
Viva la raza.
Number two would be the I'm Your Papi shirt. I love that shirt. Number three would be the Outsider shirt with Hall and Nash. Number four, the NWO Wolfpack shirt with the wolf. And
the red one?
Yep, the red one. And then number five, I like that old original Razor shirt. It's like the big picture of him with the toothpick. I think it says Razor all over. It's a real old one. I think it was his first shirt, but that's one of my favorites. And I got
oozing machismo.
Yes, oozing machismo. I love that.
Vince didn't even know who Scarface was.
Come on, Vince.
It worked.
And
is that it?
That's it.
Okay, that's a solid list.
Oh yeah.
All right. POB.
Yo.
All right, you ready?
Yeah. Number one for me will definitely have to be the one I said, the Stone Cold with the Snakes for the Arms shirt, because that's just a sick freaking design. Number two is another Eddie Guerrero shirt. However, it's the I'm Your Papi shirt, an OG one from 2005.
Okay.
That one I would love to have. God damn, that's because there's so many that are popping at the top of my head. So it's kind of hard to put it down to five.
Try to narrow it down to at least five.
Okay, number three, an OG NWO WCW shirt, like an OG NWO shirt. That would be one to have. Number four, I think either 01 or 2, The Rock, Just Bring It. That would be a good one to have.
That's a good one.
At number five, goddamn, it's a toss up with number five, because I think I'll have to go with the CM Punk shirt that he wore at Money in the Bank 2011. That would be probably the one right there.
That's a good list, man. That's a real good list.
That's crazy. Nobody put John Cena right on their shirts.
Yeah,
he was a Jersey guy.
I've got a little sign in store for you, Rez, as far as that's concerned.
You might be all by yourself on that, Rez.
Nope. I got one.
All right, Adam, you up?
All right. So number 5, a little love to Rez on this one, is the John Cena shirt, but it's the one where he looks like the cover of Super Mario 3.
I was just about to say,
badass, yeah.
I love that shirt so much.
Are you talking about the one that he wore like in 2008 or the one that?
No, that was back. That was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
that wasn't that long ago.
SummerSlam 2021.
Yeah, he wore it. It was John Cena, Super Mario 3, and like he was all cute and shit. Like I love that shirt. That shirt's great.
T-shirt.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. That one was extremely limited. Shit.
Yeah, that one's cool as fuck. Number 4 is the NWO shirt. The classic one, NWO white and black and white.
Yeah, we all agree with that one.
Yeah. Number 3 is it's a Bullet Club shirt, but it's a specific variant of the Bullet Club shirt. It's the Young Bucks version of the Bullet Club shirt with the tassels hanging off the side of it. I don't know why. I always wanted that one more than the OG Bullet Club shirt because A, you never saw anyone wearing it, and B, I don't know, it was colorful. I liked it. Number 2 is the classic Austin 316, white Austin 316 on the front, blue and white skull on the back.
Yeah, that's an honorable mention for me.
And then number 1 is another Stone Cold shirt. It's the red Austin 316 with the picture of him bleeding at WrestleMania 13 on the back.
You fucker! I was going to use that one.
Yeah, that's my number. That's my favorite wrestling shirt of all time. Besides besides the ones that Max made for me, those are forever my favorite in my heart. But the that red Austin 316 with him bleeding on the back, blood from a stone, that's the greatest shirt of all time, in my opinion.
Alan, there's a seller on Etsy that's making exact replicas of that shirt now.
Oh shit!
I know. I have it watched because I think it's the same seller because the current day replica of the Austin 316 shirt doesn't have the smoking skull, which annoys me.
Yeah.
Because the white shirt has a smoking skull on the back, but the Austin 316 shirt don't.
What?
It looks like the old Jack's. It looks like the old Jack's Bone Cruncher.
What?
Yeah, what?
What?
That's the right shirt. I actually have the re-release as well. The remember when they redid the Austin 316 shirt in 2000 that was orange and black? We had like the 3D lettering.
Yeah.
I have the original, and I have.
If I remember, the skull on the back was orange with like red flames.
Yes. I have
That's
that.
the one where
that was the one he wore. That was the one he wore in like 2001 when he came back from
when he couldn't wrestle, and he was always wearing it with Kurt Angle and Vince and the stuff in the back when he was still hurt after his neck.
Yep. That I need to get the Do Unto Others t-shirt that he wore after that. That had the
What? All right, Slim, you got your list?
Oh fuck! I forgot about Roddy Piper's shirt. Damn it! All right, that's an honorable mention for me.
Dude, I'll try to throw something together. I mean,
try to come up with 5.
There's one that I don't know if they made this, if they actually mass produced this, but when Cena and Rock were getting ready to go at it, and The Rock was like, I bring it, and Cena came out with I bring it via satellite.
I don't think they ever released that one.
Dude, I'm sorry, but if they did, that was actually a funny ass shirt.
That was a great shirt.
I mean, I'm probably going to go with like I know I'm going to dig a little bit because I was that kid that used to look at the WWF magazine and look when you could Tito Santana, like everybody, Andre, they all had one. I remember I wanted a Demolition t-shirt.
Yes.
They made one with Action Smash.
Yes, they
on
did.
the front of it. Nothing they ever wore to the ring or anything, but the original Hogan, the original Hulkamania shirt. When he came back in 2002, and it said then the one with the Hulk still rules, the red one. I was a fan of that one. What do I got? I got a couple left.
I have the Still Running Wild t-shirt. I have that one.
Yeah. I remember WCW made one with him on the front, an actual Hollywood Hogan t-shirt.
Yes.
That one was pretty badass. I mean, dude, Hogan as a bad guy with the black, the black beard and everything like that shit. He was so over when he turned bad. Like I hated wrestling.
Just for Men special.
I swore I'd never watch wrestling again, and then all of a sudden I'm channel surfing and I'm like, oh, look at this. What the fuck is up with Hogan? He's bad. I wasn't watching when he turned bad. So it got him being bad got me but watching again, let's see. God, I mean, I remember so many cool the Rockers had a cool t-shirt, Strike Force had a good t-shirt. Like I said, Andre, Brutus the Barber, Macho Man.
Remember Ultimate Warrior dude,
you still see the Macho Man ones on there, but if I had to pick one, obviously the NWO, the red NWO shirt with the wolf on it, that one was bad. Well, Nash wore the shit out of that shirt. And I'll just go with, let's see if I can go with one more. Just I know I was kind of all over the place. I've just never really owned a lot of wrestling shirts, but I just remember what I saw. Think. Let's see, Rock. Honestly, I remember having one of the Foam Finger DX. So probably the original DX shirt. I mean, like you guys have already said a couple times, the original DX and the original NWO, you can't go wrong with them.
No,
so yeah, I mean, the DX.
Wait, when you say original DX, do you mean the silver one that says D Generation X on it?
Probably just. I mean, I know they got flashier and more, green looking over the years.
Believe it or not, they used to have a red and black one that the X was like almost looks like blood on it, and it said the generation.
I remember that one. I had a Triple H action. I had a Triple H action figure that had that shirt.
Yeah, that was very that was one of those I regret not buying because we sold it at my job. Like towards the end of the time that the store was open, we sold wrestling shirts, and I was the go-to guy. My owner used to call me and say, like, "Hey, here's a list of shirts. Which one should we buy?"
Triple H had some cool shirts too, right at the very beginning of his run.
Yeah,
yes, he had
did.
Yeah,
the game shirt
ones. Okay, so I think everybody went except for me. Real quick, just to highlight, GTC said the Japanese fire. So
Yeah, that was dope.
all right, so,
Rez, what's your top 5 Cena shirts?
my list is kind of all over the place. I'm gonna try to narrow it down to 5, and then I'm gonna mention some honorable mentions, but in no particular order. I have number 1, the Stone Cold Twin, the rattlesnake shirts that POB mentioned. That one is a classic. Looks so dope. And then The Rock, the "We bring the whippin', you bring the ass" on the back. That shirt always stood out to me.
Boots the ass's time.
That shirt was classic. The Eddie Guerrero Scarface, the split T-shirt. That's like
that was
also an honorable mention for Eddie Guerrero. He did a version of the Tabasco on his shirt and it said Latino Heat on it. I want that one.
Don't want the red one, right?
Yes. Yes.
I remember that one really well. I think that one, and then the "I'm Your Papi" obviously is a classic one as well. And then my number 4 is the John Cena, the Word Life, the black T-shirt that he wore, I think around like 2004. Wore it when he like feuded with Carlito, and I think he also wore it in a music video. I don't know if you guys know what song it was, but he did a song with Murs, and Murs wore that shirt in the video. And basically,
which one, the Word Life shirt, like the baseball shirt,
the black one, with the old school, like like the old school WrestleMania logo.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
a good one. So
that one,
a white baseball shirt that has the old WWE logo on it, and it says "Word Life" underneath it. That's actually
like that one.
That's my favorite shirt. One of my favorite ones.
Number 5 for me, it would have to be the NWO, the OG shirt. Like, I wasn't a big NWO guy, but growing up, that's just a staple. Like, anybody who's not even into wrestling has seen that logo. I feel like it was just a very simple, especially when they like used to like spray paint it all over the place, like on the belt, wrestlers, like when they just beat the shit out of them. Like,
it's just a shame that it ended up so watered down because they were so over.
Dude, everybody started becoming NWO. I was like,
I'm pretty sure I was a member of NWO at one point.
We were all in the limo together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
I was riding with the B team though.
All right, Snacks. Thank you, man. I appreciate you hopping on. But yeah, no, that's probably my honorable mentions. It's a Brock Lesnar shirt actually, and it's
oh yeah.
Is it the Brock Party one?
Huh?
Is it Brock Party?
No, it's not Brock Party.
That was a great shirt. Anyone who says otherwise, that shirt was so fun.
I hated that whole stint so freaking much, dude.
That's the second most fun Brock Lesnar's ever had. His first is like Cowboy Brock Lesnar, like right now. But Brock Party Brock Lesnar was having fun,
bro. Yeah. I know he was having fun, but like you can't tell me like that like changed him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he went from this being like this UFC fighter, like straight up beast incarnate, to like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I loved it. I like when people have fun. If people are having fun, it's better.
That's why
Brock Lesnar was having fun with that.
That's why we had Cowboy Brock. I mean, dude was having fun. He was himself. Like, but anyways, I digress. So I would say it would be the off the hook paint. I don't know if you've seen that shirt.
Yep.
But it's off the hook paint, and on the back it has like 2 severed arms with like the hooks.
Yep. Yeah.
That shirt to me was crazy when I saw that.
No, eat, sleep, conquer, repeat.
That was gonna be my other honorable mention, because obviously they made multiple versions of that shirt. They made the eat, sleep, beat the streak, referring to the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, and then they had eat, sleep, conquer John Cena, which was also.
Dude,
Rez loves that shirt. That's his favorite shirt.
WWE should have reached out to that black dude and put him on a shirt.
Oh yeah,
dude, the look on his face. Heyman's reaction was even pretty authentic. Like he didn't know.
Right.
Taker said that they agreed before they went out to go ahead and let Brock do it. Let Brock take it.
GTC. So the thing is, I wasn't a WCW guy. I was strictly WWF.
Yeah.
WWE all the way. And
I was early, yeah.
I remember when the invasion, the whole thing with the invasion, like when that happened, I flip the switch, because that was obviously like the time when WCW, who had wrestlers from WWF in the past, came in and they had this big feud. Obviously, the Monday Night Wars and all that jazz that came into effect. But
hell of a time to be a wrestling fan. I know that.
Yo, you know what's funny is like when I first started watching wrestling, obviously I started with WWF. Stone Cold was my first favorite, and in like '99, I found TNN, and then I was like 100% ECW all the time. Like I would buy the action figures and stuff. So I like fell off with WWF a little bit. So, but yeah, when I was a kid, like it was WWF, and then I immediately went into full bore ECW. It was a fantastic time.
And you called ECW at the end too. It wasn't like.
Yeah, it was. I remember watching that Paul Heyman when he's like, "You want me to shoot? I hate this damn network." I saw that live when it was not live, but when it was broadcasted. It was amazing.
I have one more honorable mention shirt, and it is a somewhat newer shirt, but it is a Shield of the Shield.
Oh, the House of Justice one?
No, it's the one with the 3 fists.
Oh, that reunion shirt. It's a reunion shirt.
Give me my Paul Heyman guy shirt. I'll take that over any of the Shield shirts.
Rez, I have two honorable mentions. One as a wrestler, and the other one as a shirt. One is your boy Cena, and now Lou, you're probably the only one here that may remember this. But you remember that horrible wrestling WWF WrestleMania game that came out for Nintendo in '89, '90?
Yeah.
Remember they redid Cena was wearing that as a shirt.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the old.
I remember that shirt.
It was a pro wrestling Nintendo game.
Yeah, it was awful.
No, that game was all. Yeah, no. But matter of fact, I showed Rez this afternoon.
When did Cena wear that shirt?
That's the Fathead shirt. Remember the Fathead I showed you of the? It's the old pro wrestling Nintendo game. It was a spoof of that.
I remember that.
Cena's wearing it, and it's the original. It's the original WWF WrestleMania game. That came out
no.
That wasn't WrestleMania game.
No, it wasn't WrestleMania. It was pro wrestling. It had Starman and all that shit on it.
I'm talking about the original WWF game.
Yeah, I know that.
I know, but that's not.
Are you? You're talking about the pixelated one, right? The where it says you can't.
Yes.
That's the shirt. Yeah, that was the shirt that I was gonna put on my list, but I put the word life instead.
Yeah, that's that.
And my other, because I'm such a big fan of that. You're talking about like the WrestleMania, the word life logo. I really liked KO shirts when he was using the old logo. When he would be like KO.
Oh, the KO Mania.
The KO Mania shirt.
2 logo, and then the one where he had with Stone Cold. He used WrestleMania 6 and covered up Hogan and the Warrior.
Yep. I love the KO Mania shirts.
I'm gonna flip the switch.
Oh, Red's got the mood lighting on right now. What's
one last thing.
Piggybacking
on the Brock T-shirts, was there ever a Here Comes the Pain shirt?
Yes.
There was.
Yes, there was.
First ones.
Okay.
First shirts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you if you wanted to do something like this, since now you got a full panel, you had 6 people.
Yes, absolutely.
So everybody could. This is just a suggestion. If you don't want to do it, it's cool. But it's a wrestling, so and this will probably going to be the last wrestling segment you'll have. Anybody find that anybody out of the 6 of us here that could remember the funniest sign that they ever saw in the audience? Like, like somebody holds up a sign and it says the guy behind me can't see.
Oh, I remember one. I remember one particularly.
I've got one.
I got one, but okay, before we go into this, let's make sure that it's within guidelines, because I know there's, obviously there's a lot of trolling out there with signs.
Every sign that I thought of immediately, I'm just like, all right, well, now that that's in place, I can't say it.
Yeah, probably the same way.
Yeah,
probably the same for me.
Because there's a recent one.
If this was off the air, I'd be like, yo, let's, full shot.
Yeah. Well, the only reason I asked is because it was actually, and everybody's on this the Eddie kick with the shirts. One of the funniest ones that I ever saw was it was actually in the WCW days when the LWO was a big thing when they first got around.
Fuck, that's another shirt.
Somebody was holding up a sign that said Eddie Guerrero stole my lawnmower.
I saw. I saw that shirt.
I remember the Hulk fears Rogaine sign.
Hulk fears aging. Vince fears WCW. Like, there was a ton of trolling. Like,
Wait.
Back in the Attitude Era.
Oh yeah.
Slim, you mentioned Eddie. I'll tell you a sign I remember. I think it was when he was feuding with Edge. I think it was on the no disqualification match. Someone had a sign. It was with a lawnmower, and it was with Eddie's mullet.
Jesus.
I was like, man, don't do that to Eddie, because I liked mullet.
Oh, casual racism is always fun, isn't it?
I remember during the whole Vince McMahon DX segment, there's a picture of a rooster, and it had a quote bubble that says, "Vince loves me."
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, 'cause that was
hey,
the era of
Tony,
the,
I think that happened at
Vince
Fayetteville,
loves
North
Vince.
Carolina after the pay-per-view on Raw.
Okay.
I was there.
Oh shit.
You know,
Was that the night that they dumped the fake poop on Vince?
Was it?
I think that was. I'm trying to remember.
Triple H and
Because
Shawn
it was-
were dressed up as
No,
Shane
no,
and
no, no,
Vince.
no,
Oh,
that
yes,
was way
it was.
before that, because it was during remember the segment when DX took over the production truck?
Oh, you're going
That
way
was when I
back.
saw
Yeah.
it.
Oh, when he was like, "You think this is funny?"
Well, so
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rez. Go ahead, Rez.
No, the one, it's not an actual like fan sign, but I always thought it was hilarious. Was the whole Edge Kurt Angle segment where he's
What?
like,
Oh,
"Look,
he's
man,
holding
I
up his
know,"
eyes like
and
Grace
he's
Road.
holding up
suck.
the
Oh
I
yeah.
suck.
and he's
And they
just like,
recreated that again.
I know. I mean, I thought it was funny, but the first one was just like hilarious, like where he's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, "Look,
I
man, I
have
know we had our differences, but I just
I have
want to let you know,
This
I
is
still
gonna
think
hurt.
you're
This
you're
was
great."
gonna hurt Jess's feelings. I have
And he's
Oh,
like,
Bay Area throwbacks. Which one? I have two jobs Bay Area throwbacks. Which side did you show up?
Probably talking about Pro Image.
Probably Pro Image. Yeah, that's my boy Danny with the long beard. So yeah,
Oh.
my bad.
I have one. I have one, Rez.
Okay, wait.
2011. That's if Cena wins, re-riot.
Oh,
Bro.
see, that's Money in the Bank. Yeah.
That's. I think they also.
No, that was One Night Stand 2006.
Oh yeah, you're right. One Night Stand against RVD.
One Night Stand.
Yeah, it was.
We just real quick. We better stop hating on Cena because Rez is going to end this live. Any minute now, he's going to be like, "All right, fellas."
I honestly like that night and the ECW One Night Stand. That was a brutal night for Cena.
Him
Man.
throwing the shirt and people throwing the shirt
Nobody.
back at him.
Yeah, nobody was rooting for Cena in that building. I can almost.
Who did he fight again?
RVD.
Right?
Yeah, and then Edge came in as the Rated R Superstar, and he speared him through a table, basically.
With the motorcycle helmet
And
on.
for some reason, Heyman did the 3 count, which made which I didn't get at the time.
Well, Heyman was wasn't official that night. They didn't make a big deal about it, but
the
Heyman
special
was
enforcer.
Heyman as an enforcer.
Yeah.
Heyman.
Yeah.
Oh man, original.
Y'all realize
what's the next topic, Rez?
Y'all realize how long
Oh.
Heyman's been around? It's crazy.
I know, right?
The next topic is
dangerously.
wrestling, but obviously, guys, we know if you guys still follow wrestling, you know that WrestleMania is coming up. The Royal Rumble's coming up end of the month, January.
Story.
I'm actually stoked because the Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view of all time.
Mine too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so excited with that. I used to really, really love King of the Ring, but it's not around anymore. But,
I just love when Royal Rumble used to fall right between the week between the championship games and the Super Bowl, like that week in between. There was no football.
I'm really excited for the Rumble, man. But like everything that's happening right now, if you guys follow WWE, you know, The Rock finally made an reappearance again, and he actually kind of hinted challenging
15th time
Reigns, the Tribal Chief. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw, but like Roman Reigns responded on his Twitter, like
They did.
Laughing emoji.
a little laughing emoji. I love that. Like I love how like heels play that like off social media. Like that's what I love about wrestling is when you have like wrestlers acting like their characters outside the ring. You know, like that's
that's a lost art.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
That's a lost art, man. They don't do that no more like that.
You know who's really good at it?
They don't. No, they don't. Huh?
You know who's really good at doing that?
Who?
MJF.
Yes.
What's his
best
deal?
at
I heard that Tony took him off the website again.
Yeah, they've been doing. Dude, that doesn't mean
That's an
anything.
angle. It's an angle work.
No,
angle.
you know what? They said that MJF was on the Iron Claw. I was like, I didn't see him in the movie.
He had a speaking role, but that's what I was saying earlier when I commented that they cut Rez's favorite wrestler. He had a speaking role as Lance Von Erich, the fake Von Erich, and they cut it.
Yeah.
He's in it for like 1 second.
Well, that's why I didn't know what it was. I was like, who the hell's my favorite wrestler other than John Cena? It ain't fucking MJF. The hell?
That's MJF. You love MJF.
No.
You have a Burberry scarf that you walk around in.
Heel in the business today, no question.
Well, he's not a heel right now. He's our
Once he gets back to being a heel, he will shoot right to the top.
Oh yeah. He'll be a bigger heel when he turns heel this time because like he made everybody love him. He'll be a much bigger heel when he comes back as a heel.
What about Roman Reigns?
No.
Roman Reigns
talking about brain.
It's time to pull the plug on it. It really is. Just
Cody needs to finish his story.
His story's not going to be finished because it's going to be
Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber. That's what it's going to be. And then they're going to have Cody finish the story.
What about CM Punk? Where does he fall in this?
He's fighting Seth Rollins.
He's going to fight Rollins.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see that.
Oh, yeah. Night one.
Give me in a nutshell your prediction for what's going to build up to WrestleMania and what is going to happen at WrestleMania.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this is easy. I kind of already gave away mine. I'll just hop on real quick because I said it already.
You were wrong, Adam. So I want to hear you clarify it because last year you were like, the story's gonna be finished, and then what happened?
Okay, well, you know what? I'm still riding that goddamn horse. Cody finishes the fucking story
with a tribal chief, right?
Cody finishes the story at WrestleMania 40. The Rock fights Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber. CM Punk fights Seth Rollins night one of WrestleMania. Probably wins the belt because he's CM Punk. I guess he just kind of does what he wants to. But Cody finishes the fucking story.
So,
man,
who do you think's going to win the Rumble?
What?
Me?
Who's winning the Royal Rumble?
Punk.
Let me throw in my 2 cents. I got Punk winning the Rumble, and I think he's going to eliminate Cody to win the Rumble.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
Ooh.
And Elimination Chamber, I think with Roman, there's going to be an Elimination Chamber match for the number 1 contendership,
and that's how
Cody's going to win that.
Yep.
And honestly, man, it's going to be rough. It's going to be Cody Roman WrestleMania. Cody wins, finishes the story. CM Punk Seth Rollins WrestleMania. Punk wins to win the World Heavyweight title, and I think that'll be his final championship run. And I see Roman and The Rock. And at SummerSlam, that's gonna be the headline of SummerSlam. Roman and The Rock. Yeah, SummerSlam.
Either that or it's gonna be at one of the Saudi shows. But I don't know if The Rock's gonna go out to Saudi Arabia.
Nah.
Yeah,
I don't see that.
I know that's why I'm banking on SummerSlam, not Saudi Arabia.
But no, wait. You said The Rock. Let me get this straight. So you said The Rock and Roman at SummerSlam.
Yes,
but they're gonna have a match at Elimination Chamber.
No, I said that they're going to have a match in Elimination Chamber. That was my prediction.
Yeah, I said it's going to be a number 1 contendership before Roman at Elimination Chamber.
You don't think it'll be You don't think it'll be Mania, Roman versus Rock?
No,
I think there's going to be a moment at Mania
Cody's going to finish the story.
Yeah, it's that, and I think there's going to be a moment at Mania between Roman and The Rock, probably after the match. That's just my theory.
Or The Rock ends up coming in and fucks over Roman.
Or at least prevents, Heyman and Solo and Jimmy. Yeah. I can see that happening too.
Yeah, that too. Then the Raw after Mania is gonna be,
Yeah, and then they're gonna have 3-4 months of builds for The Rock versus Roman. Not that you really need it, but you can build a really good story in those 3-4 months.
Exactly. You can hold that back to SummerSlam, and that'll be a great climax right there. Because what's the biggest pay-per-view next to WrestleMania? Really, SummerSlam.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, that's a good call. Actually. That's actually a better prediction than having.
Those two down. But the Royal Rumble's up there with Mania these days.
Well,
what's the big four?
Roman's not wrestling at
WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series.
Roman's not fighting at the Rumble. That's facts. Roman's going to be strictly. Honestly, I think I read somewhere last year that Roman only wrestled 11 matches last year.
Yeah,
I think he's going even less this year. I got him going less than 10.
I'm afraid I got some bad news, Adam. He is scheduled to wrestle at the Rumble.
Who's he fighting?
It's a fatal
Oh, that's right. I forgot they They're having the fatal 4-way now. That's right. I forgot about that. Dude, I'm so fucked.
Which means less work for Roman. If we really think about it, he's not going to be doing much.
Honestly, I think realistically, it's just going to be a reason for probably AJ to take the pin.
I guess.
Pretty much. Somebody else to take the pin for
Roman. I mean, LA Knight's really hot right now, still really hot, so they're not going to have him take the loss. AJ Styles just came back, and he doesn't have a ton of heat behind him, so they'll probably end up having AJ take the pin.
What about Randy Orton?
I thought when AJ came back, they turned him heel.
Yeah.
No, he didn't turn heel yet. He's just not.
They were saying that he was doing heel as shit, and he was jacked.
I could see a spot where Randy can get fucked over by the Bloodline, and I think maybe WrestleMania the program will probably be Randy against Solo Sikoa, which I wouldn't mind seeing that match.
Like Randy and someone versus Jimmy and Randy and Jay versus Solo and Jimmy.
No, it's gonna be Jay and Jimmy 1-on-1 on WrestleMania.
He versus no.
That's gonna be the story there.
Mania 1-on-1, really?
Yeah, Jay versus Jimmy 1-on-1.
Have you seen that shirt? They said No Yeet T-shirt now too.
Yeah, No Yeet and Yeet. Yeah, it's gonna be Yeet versus No Yeet at WrestleMania.
Yeet.
No Yeet.
Yeet.
So that's why I suggested Randy and Solo.
That's so
annoying. And I think that could be a good match. It could really be a good physical match.
I don't know. Like, I think that's the predictable route for CM Punk to win the Rumble.
But here's the thing: they do for the past couple of years. They've done the obvious thing with the winner of the Rumble.
Yeah, and it's usually the right call.
I just don't see anybody else winning it. Like,
sometimes the most obvious answer is the right answer. It's not always. You don't always just got to throw a curveball for the sake of throwing a curveball.
Yeah, and also, Punk wouldn't have come back if there wasn't already like a bunch of wink deals for him. Like,
no shit. He wouldn't come back if they didn't give him a title. He wouldn't have come back if they weren't like, all right, we're going to give you the title for at least a little while.
I mean, the only thing I could think of Punk not winning the Rumble is obviously if he's accepted the fact that, like, look, I'm not going to be at the front of the stage anymore. Like, I'm just going to help push the younger talent. Kind of like what he said when he was in AEW.
Yeah,
that worked out.
But no, he'll get one main event, and then that'll be it because he just wants the main event. That's all Punk wanted from WWE as a main event. Once he gets that main event, gets his glory, then he's going to give back after that.
So to piggyback off your point, either Cody or CM Punk is winning the Royal Rumble, and whoever doesn't win that, wait, let me finish. Whoever doesn't win that is going to win the Elimination Chamber for the number one contendership.
Yes.
So if Cody wins, then CM Punk wins at Elimination Chamber. If CM Punk wins, which I think is going to happen, then Cody's going to win at Elimination Chamber, and then everything still works out where CM Punk fights Seth, and then Cody fights Roman.
Dude, change your screen name to Bruce Pritchard.
Ooh.
You.
Why?
Bruce Pritchard.
I'm gonna start calling your ass Blubber Love.
Oh.
Man.
Wow. Okay.
He's turning red.
Love.
Okay.
I love you.
I mean, I was really just messing with him. Blubber Love, you walked right into that. But
I like Bruce Pritchard. I think he seems good.
I love this podcast. His podcast is amazing.
Bruce Pritchard is like, I think he's still.
The dude is a genius.
I think Bruce Pritchard still is. I think he's still on the writing team. He's head of creative. So I was just working with Adam because Adam already has it planned out.
Yeah, I think the only problem with Bruce is that he's too much of like the nice politician type. He won't really say what really is going on, but he's just too nice of a guy to like trying to like bash it down.
Like now. Yeah, I couldn't, dude. When I was a kid, I could not stand fucking Brother Love. It was such an.
You remember the segment around like 2000? I think it was like 2003, 2004 when the Undertaker.
And he was in that
little. Oh, yeah, he opens the presents.
And it was Brother. His face when Taker opened that thing, he was just like, "What the?" Like, I don't even think he knew. Like,
I wonder if that.
Do you remember when Canyon randomly did an impersonation of Boy George? That was weird.
That was odd, bro.
Kane did an impersonation of Boy George.
Chris Canyon.
Chris Canyon. Who better than Canyon, yo? Rest in peace. R.I.P. to Canyon, yo. Like,
he was doing moves in the early 2000s that people still are like doing today.
Yeah.
Like he was like when Tommy, like, you know, whenever someone says, "Oh, this guy was really innovative," like Chris Kanyon was doing some crazy shit back then.
Bro, I shout out to Canyon, man, because when I went to a WWE show, he actually came out to meet the fans and he signed everybody's autograph free of charge, took pictures and all that. I mean, way, but
I've always heard he was a great guy.
He was cool, man. Like I actually still have my souvenir program with his signature on it.
Wow. That's awesome.
So I'll probably share it on the channel at some point. But crazy shit, bro.
Yeah,
he was crazy.
Also stunt double for Oliver Platt on Ready to Rumble, greatest wrestling movie of all time.
Really?
No, not really.
Greater than the
he was the stunt double for Oliver Platt, but it's not the greatest wrestling movie of all time.
Would that fucking when David Arquette was the champion?
Yes.
No, that was 3 weeks after the movie came out. It wasn't even to hype the movie. It was 3 weeks after the movie came out.
Oh, Arquette winning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Dude, everybody at WCW had to know that shit was sinking fast.
Dude,
David Arquette handled it really well. He was like, I don't want this belt, and any money he made, he donated to the family of Brian Pillman.
Yep.
I don't see that happening, GTC. Honestly, Cody versus Reigns is not going to happen on night one.
No,
I don't see that.
Does he mean Punk versus Seth for night two? I mean, either way.
He's saying Cody versus Reigns night one, then Punk versus Cody. So I think he thinks that Reigns is going to lose on night one against Cody, and then the following night.
The final image of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia will be Cody Rhodes holding up the WWE Undisputed World Heavyweight, whatever the fuck they call it, WWE Undisputed Universal Championship.
Lou is holding up the right shirt. It's whatever that man wants right there.
Yeah.
It's whatever he says.
I am the game. Yep.
No, Punk's winning the Rumble.
Game.
They play the game.
I'm the game. I'm taking him out in the middle of the ring.
I got a $2 slut for a Wi-Fi.
Dude,
I remember that promo. That was a great promo.
Triple H was like laughing too at that.
I'm taking a dump.
Yo, you guys, random blur, but you guys remember like the whole "I did it for The Rock"? Like,
I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people.
I say that.
I did it. Talking about your dog wearing fatty.
Oh man,
That's set up, if I remember right, didn't that set up like the 6-man Hell in a Cell?
Hell in a Cell.
That was in the build. That was the build up to the Armageddon Hell in a Cell.
Yeah,
it was the world's greatest choke push of all time.
Dude, there is no fucking way that I would have done what Rikishi did to fall backwards off of that cage. No, nope.
No, that's what you call taking one for the team right there. He really did.
Rikishi, he took some hard hits, bro. Like,
do you remember when Rikishi jumped off the top of the cage?
Oh yeah,
he killed Val Venus. He killed Val Venus.
Oh.
He would have killed Val Venus if he didn't know what he was doing.
Dude, old school Rock is so damn good. Yeah, dude, like those promos with the Rock, even with the NWO, like when Hogan,
when they first came in, yeah,
and they were like, "Yeah, can you take a picture of my son?" And then he was like, "Oh," and he just like,
"Hey, Chico, in the Ramon." Yeah, you can take that camera, shine that sumbitch up real good.
And they give it to
the Rock thousands was just pure gold. Pure absolute gold.
Where is that Ramon?
Honestly, though, my favorite version of Rock was Hollywood Rock from 2003.
Oh, yes.
The heel Rock, really?
Yeah. Bro, that fucking promo where he shit on Sacramento.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, his mini feud against the Hurricane. Oh my god!
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Scorpion King has a tiny ding-a-ling.
That was a rough time for me because I was such a huge Rock fan. I became like a sympathizer for him. I was like, no, just calm down. He's not really that bad. I was that guy.
To this day, I still call people Hamburglar monkey ass. I still.
I remember when he came up to Hurricane and Rosie. He called him Hamburglar and Grimace.
That was at WrestleMania 20. You got the Hamburglar and Grimace, and then you see them. They're like, "Well, no."
He's like, "Wait, why don't you say supersize me?"
Dude, Rosie's shirt was the fucking best. Superhero in training, and it said shit.
Yeah, S-H-I-T.
It said shit. Goldberg claimed that that's the reason why he only wanted to be in there for 1 year because he was like, "I want to be on a show that kids can watch, and you got a guy walking around that says shit on his shirt.
Yeah. Do you know what's also funny too is when The Rock was doing like the Jonathan Coachman segments.
Yep.
What do you think of Charleston?
Charleston.
And when he was talking about Coach having the relations with the cows.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's hilarious, man. The Sacramento song, that is a classic.
That might be Rock's best promo.
That and then the Vicky Guerrero.
No, the Billy Gunn promo was his best promo.
Oh yes, the Billy
Everybody
Gunn.
still thinks that I absolutely suck. Dear God.
It's me, Billy.
I just won King of the Ring. There's only one problem.
People still think I absolutely suck.
Bob, my name is Billy. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what your name is. I remember that.
So I'm glad that he got what you call it, gender. I'm glad he got him on Raw with that.
Yeah. Dude, it's amazing like how the crowd responds like when The Rock comes out, dude.
Dude, the air, you could just feel the air on TV go out of the arena when Gender's music hit originally.
It was electrifying.
Everybody was so pissed.
People were just like, "Oh, come on, dude!" Like it knocked the wind
Yeah,
out.
this was everybody.
Yeah.
You ever seen that meme of Justin Timberlake doing like?
Oh yeah.
That was everybody.
That's what had happened. Yeah. So I guess to kind of talk about like the whole wrestling stuff though, like you guys still feel like obviously like wrestling has changed so much over the years. I hear a lot of people that talk about it today. I think wrestling is more popular now than it's ever been. But obviously,
No,
I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
finish the thought.
The reason why I say this though is because it's reached a wider, more general audience. And I understand, like, we all grew up during the golden era of wrestling. Slim, you're the oldest one out of here that we're talking about. No, I say that with respect. Like,
he remembers the before times.
You've seen like actual like the Federation eras, like the golden era in the '80s of wrestling. You've seen the Attitude Era.
Acts like I watched Luthez live.
And then the Rock.
He remembers when Carl Hackenschmidt won the NWA title from Carl Gotch.
He remembers Vern Gagne with hair.
I remember Hogan with hair.
Wrestling now, though.
Yeah, that was like a 5-minute window, though.
The whole thing. The point I'm trying to make though is that like wrestling now has reached like almost like a global status, like because it's now reaching different countries. They perform in Saudi Arabia and other places. They now have merged, with the UFC. So obviously they've expanded to a wider and new audience. Fanatics now owns WWE merchandise, so obviously that is a bigger.
They supply it. That's the difference.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up. I do have a counterpoint because I heard this exact conversation on a podcast, like literally earlier today. So finish your thought, and then if you don't mind, I'll retort.
Okay. So my thing is like back then when we were buying stuff, like when we were into wrestling like this, it was a smaller circle. I think now the circle has expanded in a larger audience, but obviously, like the loyalty of the fandom is, I think, different compared to when we were really into it. But that's my thought. It's an open-ended question. That's just my observation. Let
me hop in on this because I do have a counterpoint to agreeing and disagreeing with you. I think business-wise, this is the best WWE has ever done at any point. 80s, Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression Era, whatever. Business-wise, it's the most money they've ever made. Hand over fist, they're making money. However, popularity-wise, I still think that the Attitude Era is number one. You had
the 90s.
They had commercials during the Super Bowl. Like that is like the ultimate mark of how popular something is. If you have a commercial during the Super Bowl, you are at the top of the public perception. Like everybody knows everything about you.
Adam, so that's the one where they walk the Titan Towers.
Yeah.
And Steve was walking through, Kane was
and then Vince McMahon's like, get it? Yeah. So money-wise, purely from a business perspective, I agree with you. This is the best it's ever been as far as like money making for WWE. But popularity-wise, I still say the Attitude Era was way more popular.
you
You
had
had
casual
everybody.
fans.
You had everybody wearing their Austin 316 shirts. You had everybody wearing the NWO shirts. You had, like I said, commercials during the Super Bowl.
Kids
You
getting
had
in trouble.
you had a
Kids
halftime
getting in
heat that
trouble.
was on a prime that was on network television. It was the halftime heat. It was The Rock versus Mankind for the WWF title and the empty arena match. That was the most popular it's ever been as far as like people like actively watching. Now, not nearly as many people are watching. Like you were getting like damn near 10 million people watching every week. Now it's significantly gone down, at least in the domestic market. I can't speak to the world market. I'm assuming that it's doing way better, but in the domestic market, like in the US, Canada, whatever, the Attitude Era is still number one as far as like just public perception and like how many people were actually like watching it and like enjoying it.
Remember Monday nights alone between the two shows, between Raw and Nitro, you had a combined.
You had WWE Monday Night Raw outdrawing Monday Night Football at one point.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that will never happen. At the time, like they were outdrawing Monday Night Football, which even back then was a staple of American television, and Monday Night Raw was drawing more viewers than that.
At the time, it was not Sunday night like nowadays. So it's
I think
one of those deals where people watch. Like, yes, it's making like Adam said, this is the most money
from a purely business perspective. This is the best they've ever done.
There's wrestling. There's wrestling. You can find wrestling anywhere, whether it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, whatever. You know, if there's for every taste, there's wrestling out there for you. Problem is, wrestling fans are gonna watch wrestling. It's not like back in the Attitude Era when you had everybody watching wrestling, even those that even the people that left off in the late 80s, early 90s, came back and watched wrestling, like Slim. You know what I mean? Like everybody was watching wrestling, even those that you did not expect to watch wrestling were watching wrestling.
Yep.
You're not gonna have.
So, do you think that like a lot of like why it's not as popular anymore is because
there's a lot of options?
But do you feel like being understanding, knowing what kayfabe like means now?
No.
Like, you think it has anything to do with that?
The general public
I think so. I mean,
wrestling.
there's always been that talk that wrestling is fake. Like that's always been a conversation.
Never fake. It's predetermined.
I know, but I'm just saying the conversation was, wrestling, that's fake, right?
Hit him with a freaking can of Coke and see if it's fake.
Mr. Real Slim Shady, if you are not going to participate in this, I don't even know why you're here, bro. Honestly, like if you're showing this is a wrestling topic, obviously we're wrestling fans, so I don't understand what the deal is with
pictures. Mad racist. Hit him with the band hammer.
So, yeah. I mean, honestly, bro, we don't have time for that energy. So you're being banned, bro. So
I didn't even see what it said. What did it say?
And I take resentment of that. I am not 40 years old. I am 30.
I'm not 40 years old either, bro. So whatever, bro. But we ain't gonna tolerate that kind of negative energy here, bro.
That's an awful picture of yourself.
Banhammer. Extremely racist picture, by the way.
Yeah. So boom. We
got 2 words for you.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
Word life.
Suck it.
No, I asked because I see this new wave of wrestling fans now, and like I have wrestling friends that are like on social media that just do so much with wrestling. Like I have a lot of friends that go to actual not games, but actual venues, wrestling venues. They sit in front and center. They talk with the wrestlers. They do all these meet and greets. Like back then, it was rare when we had like meet and greet appearances.
That's a hardcore fan. It's like
really rare.
I mean, not only that, but like back then, like that wasn't as much of a thing. Like if it was as much of a thing back then, I guarantee you the numbers from like meet and greets and stuff. Like imagine if Stone Cold did Starcast or whatever, bro. Like back then, that would have been crazy money.
Meet and greets with wrestlers was extremely rare in the 90s.
Yeah, because back then they were still trying to protect kayfabe or whatever, so they didn't really do meet and greets.
That's actually how
like now again, it's not like the secret's out, but it's more like publicly known. Like, hey, like Randy Orton doesn't really fucking hate Roman Reigns.
Right.
Jey Uso doesn't really hate his own brother or whatever. Right.
Hey, did you guys hear what Taker said when him and Roman were getting ready to go at it at WrestleMania? Taker's checking in at the hotel. Roman walks up and stands right next to him. Taker looks at him and goes, "You can't kayfabe for even 10 minutes."
Oh yeah.
Roman walks up and stands right next to him at the hotel. And Taker was big on kayfabe. He said he did everything he could to cover up his character.
Dude,
Iron Sheik too.
Yeah. The whole thing. I don't know if you guys seen. If you guys watch Chris Van Vliet, but he does like.
Yeah. I love his content.
He had.
This shit is awesome.
He was asking, or somebody was asking Taker about like this picture of him and this old woman, and he is like, still to this day, like I have no idea who that woman is, and this was like during his, in the 90s, like when he had his,
that's a picture supposedly with his grandma.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's just like, I have no idea who that is, and I still don't know who this is. But it's just so funny because he's like in his getup, and he's just taking a picture of this innocent old woman. Like,
There's one of him sitting that's got around of him sitting in a hotel room with a winged belt in his lap, and it's clearly in '91 when he beat Hogan.
Oh
yeah,
that's another good one. He told a story about Warrior. They were at an airport one morning, like they were like the middle of the night, caught a red eye or whatever, waiting for fly to the airport. And he goes, Warrior was like he believe him, basically calling for taxes. You know what I mean? He had like everything back and everything was spray painted, like Warrior this, Warrior that, Warrior everywhere. And he says that this kid comes up to Warrior, Mr. Warrior, can I get an autograph? And Warrior goes off and like, get out, like he kind of goes off, and Taker's like sitting back there like hiding like in plain sight, wearing all black, hat down. And he's like, Jim, come on, man, like don't do that to the poor kid. Like what's wrong with you? Oh, they just want to be left. I'm like, you're advertising yourself all over the place right now, like with his getup, like Warrior everything on, and he's just basically trying to like hide in a corner, just trying to be left alone. And it's like, yeah, you want to be left alone, that you don't advertise yourself, basically.
Yeah. I bet Jim was an interesting character to be around back then.
Oh yeah. I heard a lot of stories about the Ultimate Warrior in those days.
You know what makes me mad about the Ultimate Warrior, and then like besides like all the personal stuff, and it's not even necessarily about the Ultimate Warrior, it's about WWE and the Ultimate Warrior. They literally released a DVD back in 2005 called the fall. What was it? Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, and that was a fucking hit piece. They literally did everything they could to make the Warrior look like a fucking idiot. And then he gets back in the good graces, and now they've made the Warrior Award, which is for courageous achievements and all this shit. I'm like, you're talking out both sides of your mouth, bro. Come on.
It's basically
WWE hypocritical. Nah,
that's basically what it is. It's just
who? I mean, honestly though, look back at that. What was it, 2014? Who writes that story that he shows up? He goes into the Hall of Fame. He goes out at WrestleMania, goes out at Raw, and then dies the next day.
I have a theory on that. I have a theory that they didn't want Warrior to fuck up again and like start like doing Warrior shit, so they killed him.
No,
that's fucked up.
No,
come on, it's Jones. What are you doing?
Come on, bro. Yeah,
no, I think he knew.
That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
I think Warrior knew that he was his time was short.
Yeah, no, because if you listen to that promo, like he was definitely talking as if like, yeah, this is the last time you're gonna see me.
It's very it's like one of those deathbed speeches.
He did look gassed when he walked down the ring at Raw that night.
Yeah,
it was very.
He actually, I think I heard the story. I read the story somewhere where he actually wanted to do the face paint, not the mask that he wore, but he was sweating so much that it wasn't like sticking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he looked sweaty. You could tell already.
I know, and it was shocking too, because even though he was in his late 50s, he still was in good shape. That super buff shape. If you ever saw that WWE 2K14 commercial, he was still fucking ripped.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's it's really sad because we look at like these wrestlers that pretty much are like Hall of Famers. We don't have much of them left, man. I mean, there's probably like less than a handful of them that are still around. You know, like
Hogan's still alive. Everybody else around him.
I mean,
Yeah, and then did I hear that right? That the WWE has some plans this year or something coming up for Hogan because it's the 40th anniversary of Hulkamania.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
I mean, Hogan still got his arms.
Mattel
I mean,
already released.
at least Hogan can, he can still pose even though he can't walk.
yeah, I think so. GTC, I think he knew too. I think he knew.
I think they should do another Andre the Giant Battle Royal and have him job like Sheik did at WrestleMania 17 and let him win the gimmick Battle Royal like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember that gimmick Battle Royal and Sergeant Slaughter chokes him out at the end.
What I forgot to mention this honorable shirt on my list too, but is the Cactus Jack, the Wanted shirt.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I was just about to say that. Damn you, Rez.
I was gonna mention it.
That's a classic. I forgot.
Yeah, you stole my damn. You stole it. God damn you, Rez.
Yeah,
I think what was it?
That ought to put some butts in the seats.
I remember 2021.
Oh,
it was a 2021.
Oh no, we don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No,
That's a whole nother.
let's not talk about. We don't talk about that, bro. Come on, we don't.
No, I can talk about it. It's just that's something for another day. Like we can talk about conspiracies all day, but not that.
We talk about that off the air, bro. Because like I said, that opens a whole can of worms of outrageous shit.
What did I miss? I pressed the wrong button.
No, something about Benoit and man.
We don't talk about him.
I'm gonna mention the name.
We don't talk about him.
We don't talk about that. Obviously, we know what happened, but
I do have another shirt. I have another shirt. It's a very simple one, but it's one I always liked. Kurt Angle, the Team Angle shirt. I always had an appreciation for that.
You guys, speaking of Kurt Angle,
yeah.
remember this shirt? I actually literally sold it 2 years ago. It said, "You suck" in the front.
Yes. That. He was trying to get back at the crowd. Yes.
In the back of the shirt said, "It's true. It's true."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what else is honorable? Another honorable mention is the APA shirt where it says "Drink or Fight."
Yes.
Oh no, it's not the one that says "Always pounding ass" on the back.
Huh?
Is it the one that says "Always pounding ass" on the back?
I didn't know it had the back.
There's a shirt that they have. No. I'm sorry, it's not the back. It's on the front. It says APA and like a metal plate or whatever. It says APA, always pounding ass.
I've never seen. You gotta send me a photo on that shirt.
Looks like a bar sign.
But I do want the OG APA shirt. That's definitely up there for me.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Believe it or not.
What about
WWE shop right now between WWE shop and I think Homage has a segment of the WWE, like they have the license to do WWE shirts. They release a lot of classic shirts. That's a lot of my WWE shirts in the last few years have been me rebuying a lot of shirts I either had originally or I wanted to replace because either they got worn out or
until they released the APA always pounding ass shirt, then
this is another one too. It's a little more modern, but I thought it was hilarious when I first saw it.
Oh, Vince loves
the classic Vince loves cock shirt.
Dude,
speaking of that, remember that Monday Night Raw, I think it was in South Carolina, where they talked about giving Vince a birthday present and they tried to get the Gamecock the Gamecocks mascot.
Oh yeah.
Cocky.
And they couldn't get him because they were making all the jokes. That's one of my favorite segments actually.
So my favorite segment of that whole feud is, do you remember when they spray painted Titan Towers?
Yes.
And then they're getting into the limo and someone put a hook on the axle of the limo and the wheels came off. And then you see the spray painted DX and then Vince absolutely just lost his fucking mind.
Yep. He literally does this.
I know. It's like, and then you hear Jerry Lawler like, "Oh my god, I think DX finally broke Mr. McMahon." Like not even Austin broke Vince McMahon, but DX did it. So damn.
A lot of people hate on that 2006 DX run, man. I some of the funniest shit came from
the most hilarious stuff.
Yeah, I love that stuff. That's
the first night back together. I remember.
Yeah, when they I actually drove to North Carolina for Vengeance when they fought the Spirit Squad.
I remember that match. Yeah.
Yeah. And because at that pay-per-view, was it the pay-per-view? It might have been SummerSlam. I remember the fake Kane fought regular Kane.
Yes.
Oh,
And no one,
Kane, yeah.
no one hated, no one liked that match at all, dude. You could hear a pin drop, and the guy behind me screams when it's dead quiet. He goes, "I bet Kane wins," and the whole fucking second.
Useless fact: mass fake Kane was Luke Gallows.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was Luke Gallows.
That was Luke Gallows under the mask.
Dude, and then the following night, Raw was at the Fayetteville Scope the next night, and it was such a rinky-dink town that Vince and Shane had to stay there at the Holiday Inn, and they came and walked right past us. We got pictures with them and everything. Vince and Shane were super cool, hanging out with us and all that. Heyman ended up being a shithead. He walked across the street to CVS and bought a bunch of snacks. He was an asshole. He wouldn't talk to us. But during the whole thing, the Holiday Inn person, the people that worked there were like, "Okay, people, leave them alone. Let them go to their room." Shane and Vince never said one word. They were cool with hanging out with us. It was the fucking people at the personnel. It was the employees at the hotel trying to get us.
They're trying to big time y'all.
But it was super cool meeting them. Like it was funny because I was wearing a jersey. I was wearing my TO 49ers Pro Bowl from 04. Nice. And my friend was standing there taking a picture, and he's standing between Vince and Shane. I'm kind of shaking as I'm taking the picture. And in 2006, it was shitty camera phones. They weren't that great. So I take a picture, and as I'm taking a picture, I said, "Hey, Chris, do you realize how much money you're standing in between, bro?" And Vince and Shane kind of chuckled. And Vince went on, and some little boy was standing next to me. He was like, "Bret the Hitman Hart is my favorite wrestler of all time." And he goes, and I got to meet him. He goes, "But now I got to meet Shane, and he's my favorite." And it's just a little kid. And I walked over and said, "Shane." He goes, "What's up, man?" I said, "Shane, this little kid right here." And the kid had already walked away. I pointed to him. I said, "That little kid said that Bret was his favorite wrestler. And now that he got to meet you, he said, you're his favorite." He goes, "That's so cool." And Shane, and Shane walked away. So I got to interact with Shane for a few minutes. It was cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool shit, man.
One of my favorite bloodiest matches was DX against the McMahons and Big Show. You talk about blood and guts,
when Vince got his head shoved up his ass.
Yeah. But dude, so much blood was left on that ring. My God, it's one of the most brutal matches ever.
Yeah. Adam.
Yeah.
You're talking about this is the EC. We could do a whole segment on old school ECW shirts, just on that alone. The original ECFNW shirt.
Yep.
I have one that used to say ECW Hardcore Wrestling in the front, and the back says "Our Big Boys Kick Ass."
Yeah.
Because that was a play on the whole, this is where the big boys play for WCW. The original Sandman shirt, the black and white.
Hang on. Look at the adjective. Play.
Well, LA Knight says only an idiot could say that's an adjective. But that was that one, the original RVD shirts. Francine 469.
My favorite one is it's the Sandman. It looks like the Budweiser logo, and it says "Blood, Sweat, and Beers" on the back.
I had that shirt. I sold it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I love
I did a wrestling
shirt.
shirt purge about 2-3 years ago. And I kind of regret now. I sold that shirt, the original Sandman shirt. I have the Taz's F2W shirt.
Yep.
You guys remember Axel Rotten?
Yes.
Yeah, I was actually friends with him when he died, dude. It's such a shame that he died in a fucking overdosed in a McDonald's bathroom. Yeah. He was like super cool. We went bowling. Yeah. We went bowling together. We went to Golden Corral together, and he would always bust out his Iron Sheik and his Dusty Rhodes suit. They were spot on. And the favorite shirt that he actually showed us, it's a picture of him in his heyday with his mohawk and everything. Dude, he could walk when he was hanging out with us, he had a full head of hair. So, his hips were fucking in real bad shape. But he had a shirt that was pretty badass from '95, and he was like mean mugging the camera, and he's holding a chair in his hand, and the chair said, "I make grown men cry."
Nice.
Yeah, when he died, it was cool that WWE acknowledged it, and gave like the well wishes to his family and all that. But dude, that's how he died, man. That was awful. Man. Like he was struggling, man. He was working as a doorman down on the Baltimore block.
Yeah.
So I don't want to cut you guys off, but I'm gonna start wrapping it up because we are almost at the midnight mark for some of you guys on the East Coast. So I do want to thank everybody that's hopped on this live stream tonight, and also for all the lives in general, man. This is episode 98. Episode 99
2 more
is coming up. Yeah. So after this live stream is done, we got 2 more lives, guys. We have one more live.
What's the next one?
I'm probably gonna do an open live next week.
Okay.
Just to kind of go over everything, see if anybody has any last minute things that they want to do. So if you guys have any topics whatsoever, this goes for everybody, even in the chat. If you guys want me to talk about anything, please, my line is open. You could find my social media handles in the description of this live, or you could just put it in the comments as well. If I did not get to your comments, I do apologize, guys. This live stream was pretty popping. There was a lot of people commenting, so if I did miss your comments, I do apologize. But if you guys missed this live, I have another live coming up next Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, just to kind of give you guys a timeline, next Wednesday will be episode 99, which will most likely be an open live. So pretty much the floor is open. Talk about sports, wrestling, shoes, whatever, jerseys. And then after that is the finale, which will be episode 100. Big things planned for that live. That's definitely going to be one for the books. I do encourage
24-hour live stream confirmed.
Huh?
24-hour live stream confirmed.
24-hour live stream. Damn.
Marathon.
I don't know about that, but it's definitely going to be a memorable live. There is going to be a segment that I'm going to dedicate. There's a slight chance it might not be on Wednesday and it might be on a weekend, but I don't know 100% yet.
Do it on a Sunday, please.
Yeah.
Sunday?
Yeah,
do it on a Sunday.
I wouldn't mind Sunday.
Okay. Well,
on the 100th one?
Yeah. So episode 100.
It's going to be it's probably going to come down to how Rez is feeling and whether or not the Niners get knocked out by an upset.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
I don't think so. I don't think that's gonna happen. At least
sure
not
the Eagles are to be out, so I'll have my crying out of the way.
I'll probably put a poll on my tab here.
Pause.
So if you guys want to vote for that, please do so. But I'll keep you guys posted on everything with the finale, the live. I'll give you guys plenty of time and plenty of notice. But
everyone, make sure you click Rez's poll.
But please, guys, if you can, before we end this live, this is how you know this live is going too long. Give this live a thumbs up. Please also subscribe to the channel.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, please smash the like button. I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And also share the live if you haven't done so. I definitely invite everybody out there. Obviously, I had to ban some people because they were being just super petty and just straight up not nice. So please follow guidelines. Obviously, this is still a platform here that I want to abide to the community guidelines. So please, out of respect, just try to keep it civil, try to keep it within the guidelines. I know we go off the rails unintentionally, but we all mean it. It all comes from a good place. So that's kind of where I want to go at with that. But you guys have any closing statements you want to make before I?
One last wrestling question, and it's for John. Big John, I got a question. Obviously, you've rubbed elbows and met a lot of wrestlers. Any comments or cool experiences about meeting Brett and Kev, Scott, DDP, everybody you've met?
I gotta tell you though, one of the coolest things, and it's about last year when I met DDP. He took time with every fan there. Him and Bret Hart. I remember Bret's line was 5 hours long. He was supposed to sign for 3 hours, and what happened was he was 30 minutes late. He came in, and I remember he walked in, and Danielson, I'd got done meeting him, and he, in front of everybody, said, Danielson right now is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And then he sat down, and then he took time with every fan that was in his line. He took time with. And I'll never forget, he got up out of his chair and took a picture with my mom. With everyone else, he was seated, but he enjoyed talking to me and my mom. And my mom's not much of a wrestling fan. Like, she watched a little bit during the Attitude Era and then the Ruthless Aggression Era. So she didn't really know Bret that much. She may have seen him in the 90s, but, you know, this is what my mom was telling me. We were in line, and Bret waved at my mom. And my mom was like, that wrestler you wanting to meet, he waved at me. And I was like, no way. And then when we got up in line, he was talking to my mom. And that's one of the good memories. And of course, DDP, you know, and we mentioned Canyon earlier. And I told him about how much I enjoyed his work with Canyon and Bam Bam as part of the Jersey Triad. And he lit up and he was like, I wish it could have lasted longer. And, you know, he was happy to talk about Canyon. You know, Canyon was one of his good friends, but that's one of the great memories. And Scott, you know, Scott also had a long line, and he took time with every fan, you know, and he told all the fans, you know, thank you for coming. Like I said, all nice guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah, great pictures and all that too. Every time I see you just met Hogan too, didn't you?
Yeah, I met Hogan. Actually, originally I wasn't supposed to go, but I got family that lives in Florida, and we had a little mini reunion, and one of our family friends wasn't doing too good, so we had to come visit them. So it ended up working out good for me, and I ended up meeting Hogan.
That's
and Hogan
cool.
was really cool too. And
dude,
like
I'm seriously. I mean, like I said, like as you guys know, the golden era, whatever, the rock and wrestling era in the mid '80s. Dude, I am such a mark for the red and yellow. When I got to make it to SummerSlam 06 and he fought Randy, and I would have never imagined that was actually going to be his last WWF match. And I mean, I'm yelling and screaming like I was 30 at the time, and I should have just been 13 the way I was yelling and screaming. Because the way Hogan does, you know, I mean, the way Hogan did it at the time is, you know, he hit Randy with the boot, and then he starts posing, doing the thing with the ear. You know, can I hear you? You know, he wants us to scream. I'm yelling and screaming, drop the fucking leg. You know, because I want him to win the match. I want to hear Real American. I want to try to. Because I seen him as Mr. America, you know, in 2003. I saw him as the bad NWO Hollywood, and I had to see the red and yellow. I never got to see him in the red and yellow as a kid. So seeing it, even though he was crusty old, by the time I got to see him, and I mean, I sat third row, and I went right around and got right in front of the people that were in front of me, and I'm sure I offended them, but I didn't give a shit. And you know, and it was just so cool, you know. So yeah, so I'm jealous of you, Big John. I keep telling my cousin we gotta stop playing around and go down there to his karaoke spot. I want to go down there and check it out.
And I want to end it with this. I'm sorry, Rez. I want to end it with this. You know, this year is the 20th anniversary of me being a wrestling fan, and what I've realized is, you know, I'm all about making memories. So anytime I get an opportunity to meet my favorite wrestlers, I take it. Like, I save up. You know, I really don't spend too much.
And Jake and Cheryl.
Jake and Cheryl too.
Dude, I remember that angle at SummerSlam '88 when right, yeah.
I remember that too,
man.
JYD,
but he came out and whipped Rue's ass after he pulled his pants down and, you know, cost JYD the match, you know, and he fought Hercules that night, DDT'd him, which was cool. That was the night that was the night the Warrior beat Honky, but yeah, I mean, yeah, so I'm just kind of jealous. I see one of these new pictures of you, John. I'm like, damn, John, and you're going to be here in April, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I told Mike. Yes,
Adam trying to get Adam here, but Adam says he might have plans.
Yo, I'm
gonna come meet you guys.
All I'm saying, man, is when you get these opportunities, you never know if you're gonna get them again. So
yeah, you too, bro. Fucking Stone Cold, dude. The bedpan. Dude, how cool would that shirt be? I just saw a pause picture, like it was a perfect picture of Steve hitting Vince and Vince stiffing it up for the bedpan. Dude, how cool would that shirt be?
Hell yeah! I'll buy that. I'll buy that shirt.
By the way,
the sound that bedpan made was just perfect.
My bedpan, I have a autographed in person Stone Cold Steve Austin bedpan.
Yeah, you guys knew
it is authenticated by PS or JSA authentication. So
That's
I hope
fucking awesome. That's awesome.
all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I really appreciate all of you. I hope to see you guys next Wednesday. Next Wednesday will be episode 99. We have 2 more episodes to go, guys. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Hey, Raz.
What's
Real
up?
quick, would you say that is
Your coolest memorabilia? The bedpan, getting Steve to sign it?
I would say for wrestling memorabilia.
Yeah,
Gotta be, man. That's
so.
that's a one of a
think
kind.
I would place that that and my John Cena D Brown the pumps that are signed.
Oh, okay.
I have a signed pair of D Brown.
That's up. That's,
I remember that photo, bro. I remember that photo.
Oh, that's probably those are probably my 2. The third item I was hoping to get something signed by The Rock, but I have to find something that's worth
I actually have. I met The Rock. Well, back when he wrestled, I actually met The Rock in '99 in Bethlehem, and I have my WrestleMania 15 program signed by The Rock.
That's signed by The Rock. That's crazy.
Yeah, actually, you saw the pictures I sent you earlier of. Remember the attic setup I used to have. The WrestleMania. I have a personalized picture of The Rock, and then that one.
If I had to choose, though, I probably would rather get a picture signed by The Rock. Just because of how big time he is now. Like, meeting him is impossible. You could get his autograph if you buy it. You know, you could buy something that he signed, but like to have a photo with him now is good luck. You know,
a friend of mine. Here's a cool Eddie Guerrero story. A friend of mine, back when he used to still take. This is back before Eddie came to WWF, and so my friend had this book that he basically dedicated to all the pictures and stuff of wrestlers that he had. Had a picture with Steve, Polaroid with Steve, and he had some pictures developed from Eddie when he was still in WCW. Runs into Eddie again when he was in the WWF, and Chris holds it up and he's like, "Hey, can you sign this?" And Eddie goes, "Oh wow, check it out, man! It's my Hell Days," and he signs it. He signed it when he was WWE, and he signs it to the WWF.
Damn.
Wow.
And I actually ended up meeting them because there was a hotel that because they would always have a Raw. Yeah. We would always when WWF or WCW would come into town, they would always have a pay-per-view at the Baltimore Arena, and then they might have a
That's another
and
one.
they would always have 2 shows, one in DC, one in Baltimore. So while they were here, they would hang out at the Marriott for that one night. I met Nash there. My boy tried to take a picture of Flair. Flair told him no. So he's running away from Flair and taking a picture of him at the same time. Flair's reaching for him, pissed off. And so he's taking a picture of him while he's running from him.
Oh, my God.
Some little short guy walks by me, and he goes, "Excuse me." And I was like, "Oh, sorry about that." And my friend goes, "Hey, did you see Ray?" And I was like, "Who?" I turned around. It was Rey Mysterio. Walked right past me. He was literally to my chest. Like he was that short. We tried to get Big Show to go to Denny's with us, and he goes, "Oh, I appreciate it, guys, but I already ordered room service." Like shit like that. The night that the Big Show did the Backlash when he did the Showster as Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, hey, Paul, how was that doing Hogan? He goes, "Well, he did give me a lot to work with." So like these guys are super cool. But yeah, so I mean, had some interactions the night that Hall tased Goldberg and the street game. We couldn't find Goldberg and Nash that night, but Hall was drunk out in the hallway, so that was fun. We got he was too sweet. He was too sweet and everybody.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I know Rez is trying to lock it up. The only cool piece of memorabilia I think I got, house show, Baltimore Arena. Triple H is coming down. Jericho is actually in the ring. It's a house show, so it's not televised. My friend is standing next to me. My same friend Chris. He's an annoying Cowboys fan, by the way. So that's already tells you how he is. So he gets Jericho's attention, and he's pointing to his like junk, like, you know, fuck you, suck my, you know. Jericho's doing it back, obviously, because they're not videotaping. And Jericho's like, yeah, blow me, whatever. Jericho's run his mouth. Triple H bends the corner because game's playing, and he takes a drink of his water and he throws it. And when he throws it, it lands 15 feet next to me, goes off top of a pile, hits me in my feet. I pick it up, take it up. I got one of the water bottles.
Oh shit,
cool.
dude!
That's cool as shit.
That's crazy.
I took my. It was in April of 2002. I took my ticket and I taped it to the it's an Aquafina bottle. I taped it and I found a random orange lid and I just put it on and took it home and it's sitting in my living room at my house now.
You should get him to sign it.
Should.
Good luck getting to him. I mean, now he's the owner of the fuck. He's basically the owner of the company now.
Yeah, he basically runs the whole show. But yeah, that'd be cool to sign it.
All right, guys.
We gotta do a live together and talk about old school wrestling.
I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. But thank you, man. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. Have a good night.
Take care. Have a good night.
Night, man.
Subscribe to Rez.
Yep. He's out.
Yeah.